Just get that going. All right. Okay.
I haven't showered for 4 days.
I should admit to the party that I have pretty much never played a caster in my life, so therefore, if you give me a wizard, we're gonna die.
We're going to address that. Okay. So, first off, thank you for joining my game. I appreciate it. I didn't expect 8, but I got 8, so I'm cool. Also, the other thing, because they paid my way, I'm broadcast right there. The Game Portal, the local game store for all your local gaming needs. So, yeah. Thank you. I should have had a sound effect box. I'm not with my game today.
One. He's right there.
Right.
He is the sound effect box.
Okay. So before we get into the character selection, I'm going to really quickly go through the idea of Nazgoth, because that's what we're playing today. Everyone on there knows already once they see it. This is a recording. Okay. Who? All right. So who here is familiar with any of the Legacy of Kain games or Soul Reaver or anything like that? So no one? All right, cool.
Because I might know, I don't know. Remind me.
Okay, so I'll just go through a quick summary of the Legacy of Kain games. It's set in a realm called Nazgoth, and it is the medieval fantasy, sorcerers, magicians, all that sort of thing. All that exists as it would in D&D 5e. So it's not that part of a transition. The unique thing about Nazgoth is that within this realm, eons ago, this race of ancients created what was called the 9 Pillars of Nazgoth, and each pillar represented one of the cornerstones of magic in the land. And each generation, it would pick a scion, a human scion, to represent that pillar. Well, according to the history all your human characters are going to know, because you're playing humans today, is that Kain was supposed to be the person of balance. He then became a vampire and went on a killing rampage, killed all the other members, and then whenever he was given the chance to redeem the world by sacrificing himself, he said, nope, instead I want to rule the world with all my vampire children. The 9 pillars cracked, and then the world started to slowly rot from the inside. So, 1,000 years forward, Kain, throughout the century, started building up his army. He created lieutenants. I'm going to feel so bad if I don't remember all of them. Raziel, Terrell, Duma, Zephon, Melchiah, and Rahab. And with his lieutenants, he began just going throughout the country, or the entire world, destroying city by city. Not just, I'm taking it over, like completely destroying the cities brick by brick, and then abducting all the humans and putting them underground in what was called as blood farms, so that they could start building up the subterranean structure, because newly made vampires, they burn up in the sun. So he just systematically started enslaving all of humanity, and all the humans that managed to get away were called feral, and any time that they really built themselves up, he would come in, exterminate them, and take all the people that were there. There was only a few cities that him and his lieutenants allowed to live, and that's because it was either sentimental reasons, history, or they just didn't really care. And this is the situation that humans had to be in for a very long time. Is you were growing up, you're born, most likely underground your whole life, you worked until you almost died, and then someone drained you completely, and then you died, because you were just food. That's all you were. Of course, humans, with the resilient soul that we all have, kept trying to rebel against him. Before he gained too much power, there was a order called the Seraphim, who at one point actually was pretty close to exterminating the vampires a few times. But Kain was able to finally overthrow them in his conquest, and now the Seraphim are kind of thrown to the ashes. They're here, they're there, and they're always trying to bring back people to fight the good fight, but they're more along the lines of rush the walls of the kingdom, and if we die, we die, which typically they die. So this time period that we're getting into is when the humans finally start getting a chance to repopulate themselves. And the reason why is because Kain he eventually disappears because the world is dying and he is searching for a cure, and they have no idea where he went. He just disappeared. So you're left with the lieutenants. Now, the first one, the greatest one, Raziel, he was killed by Kain before Kain left, because Raziel, very much, there were multiple reasons, but pretty much he grew wings, Kain grew jealous, ripped him off and threw him in the abyss, and then his children just had to survive. But the skipping past that, the other lieutenants, without Kain there, someone has to be on top. And they're living forever, they're getting bored, and they start to have outright civil wars with each other. And while they're trying to kill each other, humans are finally allowed to start populating cities, get stronger, they're starting to learn magic, which all in all wouldn't have been enough. But something unique happened, which is they started improving their weapons they did a technological jump with no one knowing exactly why. It seems like all these things just was happenstance, and it happened to help the humanity be able to fight the vampires again, to the point where they're like, okay, our civil war is done. If Kain came by, he would be embarrassed by all of us, so we're going to start just doing an all-out warfare on humanity again. So this is the situation that is Nazgoth. You have the vampires saying, okay, let's work together and bring back the empire like it was. You have humans saying, we are no longer going to be blood bag slaves to all these vampires. So, well, the thing is that, yeah.
Something from Skyrim, yeah. The DLC for Skyrim.
Yeah, there was something else, and it was like there was so many vampires.
Right.
Well, I don't know where.
See, the thing is that Nosgoth was one of the video game series that was supposed to be an MMORPG, and they got it down to beta testing, and then they killed the project. And I personally believe it's because they thought they weren't going to make any money because they didn't think there was enough fans, which I think they were wrong. But that was the idea: is you pick human or vampire and go online and kind of like Warcraft, kill each other, blah 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 blah. But
Awesome, huh?
they dumped it, and I was able to get all the information to make a D&D source book for it. So I'm going to go through the human sex really quick. It sounds really weird to say that out loud, but I'm going to say it anyways because that's how I wrote it. All right. So we have... All right, so there's them. The first one I'm going to describe is the Iron Guard. Now, the Iron Guard, they were members of a city that tried to remain neutral whenever the vampires were destroying everything. And they thought by the time the vampires got there, they were like, oh yeah, you guys have been neutral the entire time, you're fine. Didn't happen. Vampires saw humans having their own city, wasn't going to have it. They came in, destroyed the thing, razed it to the ground like they always do. So the survivors rebuilt their town and said, we are going to be the army that destroys the vampires. So the Iron Guard are the closest to being an actual army. In fact, that's the other ones are kind of relying on them to be formalized. Now, their unique weapons was kind of like a automatic crossbows, like with a clip. Whereas before, it's, you place it in there, ka-ching, ka-ching. Now they have a clip in there, and some of them are actually able to fire quite nicely. That is based off of a fighter class. So there's the fighter. And second one, so the Watchers of Dark Eden, which are the Scouts. The Scouts are from an area called Dark Eden, where when the Pillar members were still around, some of them started to make unique experiments and were trying to remake the world. Didn't happen, they died, but Dark Eden was still there, so you have all these weird creature, plant beasts, mutated insect creatures. And the Scouts were the people who were responsible mostly for destroying all the unusual monsters in there and keeping them back. They didn't get much as far as improved weapons, but their bows are now compound bows, like real compound bows, and some of them are actually pretty cool, like a war bow, for instance, which I don't think this character has, would be 1d12. And it takes up your bonus action to shoot it because that string is that hard to pull back. So that's them. Yeah, that is the Ranger Monster Slayer. And I have all the stats thrown into these, so you don't have to go hunting down the books too much, but if you need them, I have them. Alright, next one.
I'll take the players when you get it.
Okay, I'll get that to you in a moment. Sorry. Doing quick descriptions of all of them because this will kind of give you an idea of what you might want and who could play what. Alright, so I will go with the Sisters of Anacroth. The alchemists, pretty much. They're the artificers. I like saying artificer because it sounds more French and I like it that way. But they were in the southern areas of Nazgoth, where there were vampire chemists trying to make themselves look pretty again. The Melchiah clan are always rotting. So they were pretty much abducting all the local human clans, killing off the men, and then using the women as servants, thinking, oh, women are more docile, they're never going to do anything to us. Well, the women learned all their alchemical secrets and then killed them all. And now they're going around with hand cannons. So they're pretty sweet. They're actually a little bit more trusted than some of the other options there, because even though they're women and they're bringing these unusual scientific stuff, they're not from a bad background. It's more like, oh, you guys are heroes to your own people. Yeah, sure, we need heroes. Come on in. So that would be Sisters of Anacroth. And I'll go with this one. So next we have the Lost Seers of Avernus, or the Prophets. Back to the Pillar members again. There was one of them who was supposed to be like the protector of Nazgoth against all the demons, and instead joined the demons and brought all the demons to Earth in one specific city. And one of their groups within this magic caste system said, they called themselves the Prophets. They said, that kind of sucks. We're not bringing demons to destroy the world. So they got the hell out of there before the city pretty much burned on itself. And of course, Kain was in there at one point, killing everyone. But the Prophets, getting this kind of bad rap of being demon worshippers, went into secret hiding and started looking for artifacts. And they found one, which was a fountain of blood. And once you drank from it, it would turn into dark blood for about 10 years. And they were trying to do experiments on this and figure it out. And eventually they found out that they could get a magical connection to these things, and at higher levels turn their blood poisonous against vampires. These guys are warlocks. They've made a magical pact, and they have 2 6-shooters. Yeah, so they are magic.
Not the typical warlock there.
Yeah, and they don't really know what they're making a pact with, but that's exactly what's happening. All right, 2 more. So we have Scourge of the Wild, or specifically the Beastmasters. These were the individuals who went all over Nosgoth as wandering nomadic tribes, very specifically even further into Dark Eden than the other guys. And they are the Druids, Circle of the Moon, and their cool weapon is a hunter's shotgun. So think about that, just these clerics going around with shotguns being able to turn into animals. That's the...
Oh, that's pretty intimidating. Whoa, okay.
The bear's got a gun! The last one.
Clerics sneaking around.
Oh no, that's our gun.
Right. So the very last one was the Drowning Men, or specifically they're called the Vanguard. One of the human cities, Meridian, whenever it was building up its population, realized, you know what, people are still going to break the law. So we're going to have to make a prison for those people. And it didn't work. Everyone kept breaking out. And they said, well, let's put them to work. Didn't work. They kept breaking out. And they said, we have an idea. We don't bury our dead anymore because we're afraid that they'll turn into vampires. Instead, we dump their bodies in the middle of the ocean.
I'll just burn them.
What? Well, that was one option, but they decided let's just throw them in the water. I don't know why, but that's what they did. That coastal city, you know. But what they did was they made all their prisoners in charge of that. They started like chaining them down to the death boats and have the islands wherever they would collect and drown the bodies. And that's kind of how they dealt with that. Unfortunately, whenever the vampires came and started attacking the main city has stuff like archers and stuff, so they could kind of defend themselves. The city of the drowned men had nothing. They had to bunker themselves down in the ground with like prisoners and guards alike, and they just huddled in the darkness until everything came for them. And they decided right then and there they were going to be brothers forever, and they just fought with all their might, and they actually won. They killed all the vampires coming down there, and so whenever that was done, the drowned men came back to Meridian and said, so we have our new army, we're going to do what we want, and you're going to say okay because you need armies, and we're not going to take any arguments from you. And Meridian was like, okay. They do not have any of the weapons, like the machine gun, or not machine guns, the shotguns or the six pistols. What they do is they have specialized throwing axes, where it sticks into the body of their targets. They also have an additional feat to help them be shield bearers.
So what's doing as the paladin?
It's a sticky grenade.
It's actually a fighter champion.
Without the grenade part.
So,
Is there a paladin in there?
no. So, that's the 6 pre-gen characters. We have someone who did a monk, and we have someone who did a cleric, and we have these 6 here. The reason why, other than just giving you an idea of what the world is like, for me describing this to you, is so that you as a group can figure out what you want to do. So if someone says, I'm really good at being a spellcaster and probably best at the table, and everyone's like, yeah, we agree. Guess what? You're the alchemist. If someone's like, I'm kind of good at magic, we can go with warlock. If someone says I'm the worst, then we have the vanguard.
He's the
I'm
best
telling
ever
you,
So-
if a vampire like kind of sneaks up on me and spooks me and he goes roll initiative, I'm gonna look at him and be like, no, I'm gonna throw my level 9 wish spell at it and just make it disappear.
Right. So we'll go at high and low. So Kimbra Cook is the character that's going to be the alchemist, most complicated spellcaster in the group. Who's...
I played spellcasters for.
You like it?
I like the story, but I don't know, like, if it is spellcaster.
Oh, he's definitely the best spellcaster.
Are you
I've
good
been
at spellcasting?
spellcasting
Try it.
for like 2 years.
Hold on, is that the person with the 6 shooters?
No, this is the one with the hand cannon.
But
You know what? If no one's immediately jumping for it and you like the story, I'm going to give it to you. So you can go ahead and start reading that. If you find something that I didn't do correctly mechanics-wise, go ahead and tell me. But it's I built them from the ground up because I don't have the rights to D&D Beyond on everything. And the last page is a description of all the weapons, although that's not all the weapons you have. All right, so down at the bottom we have Graham the Just, the Vanguard. Who thinks that they are probably not going to be the best with spells at all? You?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. All right, and
is that full of spells?
random 4. Okay, so we have Alfric of the Shadow Panther tribe. That's the druid of the Circle Moon who has the shotgun.
I'm not the best at Druid. I promise you, I'm not
I've
the
played
best.
Druid. I've played Druid quite a few times, haven't I?
Quite a bit.
Are you bored with it or you want it?
I'm kind of bored of it.
Okay.
I'd rather have somebody else take that.
All right,
I'm
well,
No,
well we can keep going.
I can just say people who want it and I want it.
All right, well then we're going to put that to the side. So we have Wilfreda Landon, or Evidians Tenebras. That's the warlock with the 6 shooters.
Like warlocks.
I love warlocks.
There you go.
He used to play Bloodhunter, Order of the Profane Soul,
Mhm.
and I had to explain to him how that's literally just a melee warlock.
It's pretty cool.
Played Warlock.
All right. Yeah, you have pictures on all your characters, which is the art that's done by Nazgoth. All right.
Kill it, honestly.
So we have Baldwin Hull, who is the fighter of the Iron Guard. So this is going to be the soldier of the group. It's,
I gave him things that
Soldier,
Yeah.
soldier, like melee.
yeah.
It's something
Basic
that
like monastery.
It's an archer that has a little bit of magic that can throw them on some of the arrows.
Like,
Hands,
I do like
basic
ranking
monastery
stuff,
robes,
but I don't
my
think that one.
monastery.
There you go. All right, we have Eamon Kynaston, the Ranger Monster Slayer.
Oh,
who's-
yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
There you go. That's the one with the more complicated natural bows that have better skill. Okay, so who does not have a character?
Me.
That would be you. You are Alfric of the Shadow Panther tribe.
That literally, like, it piqued my ear for a second, and I was like, I was waiting for, like, the sisters, because I loved that story, and then I was like, wait, you never said anything about them. Oh, well.
She got it.
It was the complicated mage.
Right.
I was really debating about the mage too.
Okay.
Alright, so Slaggart, you're playing the cleric.
Yes.
We have Emma playing an archer.
Yes.
Shannon, you're playing an alchemist. I am playing a
Ranger Monster
Ranger.
Hunter.
Nichols?
Yep.
Nicholas is playing the Druid Shadow McPanther, and I didn't get your name.
Cody.
Cody's playing the monk.
Yes.
And so
Sounds like he was
Sebastian
trying to
is
cough
playing a Beerlock.
I don't think he likes
And then
monks that
Kayla
much.
is
Must
playing
have
the
had a bad
Vanguard.
experience.
Yes.
Do you like monks?
Okay. So while you two are reading up on this, I'm going to talk to them real quick to kind of bring them into the story. You remember me telling you about the Seraphim? So the Seraphim actually had two ages. One which was the first before Kain came by, and they almost wiped every single vampire out, like to the point where the oldest human vampire got pissed and started killing pillar members at one point. They were good. Then there was a resurgence whenever Kain was starting to fight, and they were trying to kill everyone off, all the vampires off again. Didn't go as well. So it's kind of like this, we remember the glory old days, and we are the ones who've always been fighting this war. We're just not as strong as you guys, and we don't have your cool toys to fight them with. So that's the mentality of the Seraphim, is higher than thou, because we've always been higher than thou. All right, so I'm going to explain that. Take that as you will,
Okay.
and I will.
Get that player's handbook for like 3 spells I gotta look up.
Yeah,
Other than that, I'm good.
there's that.
It's basically stunning strike without stunning strike.
See if I can get a good picture of the Seraphim for you.
You're going to get smacked.
We're not gonna do that.
So,
You'll get some smacks.
Oh, weird.
yeah,
Very
Also, look at stats.
they're like,
The best stats.
yeah, they're totally devout and willing to die, and that's why they keep dying.
+3.
Am I using the
+4. And then gives damage +3. Because I'm proficient with the weapon.
Yeah, there had to be some give
You
and
just
take
have to know
between
how
the
to
video
use it
games.
properly.
I was like, if I wild shape into a vampire, will one of them kill me?
Yes,
I'll
I
read
will.
that out loud.
Just turns into a Nosgoth too. Just looks at everyone and goes,
This is effective.
okay, give me a second.
Give me a second. Like, we're fighting.
Okay. So for people who are watching the video, they're going through the pre-generated characters that I made for them, and they're having to read the history as well as the personality traits. So it's kind of like being an actor and reading the script to be able to improv a scene that no one's made up yet. So
You have another book.
that one's the Nosgoth book. Which one are you needing? Okay, that would be. I have the one main book, unfortunately. Let's see.
It's taking 2 seconds to get to the 3 I say pick out 3 spells. Otherwise,
And feel free to take pictures of them. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be sharing this online, all right? Me with my book. Okay. Yeah, I tried to give as much information as I could, but my printer can only do so much. But yeah, definitely feel free to use your phones to share the book. If you have other books, then that's fine.
I'm gonna go.
Yes, D&D Beyond. Very useful. I think there's also another website, D&D 5ER or something. I can't remember, but it's the one that I sometimes go to, and they're very helpful. And I don't feel bad about it because I own all the books that has the information that I'm looking for online. So. And if you have questions, feel free to ask.
I honestly don't think I've ever seen this cantrip before. I didn't know how to use this cantrip.
Which one is it? Prestidigitation.
You know, that word doesn't look like it has 3 Ds in it.
It probably does.
So I'm basically that.
It doesn't have the
Yeah,
Okay.
but
So,
you're
do I get these stats or?
no. That's you're a beginner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's you reading it. You know why I'm telling you not to share that information. Okay. It's not coming into play, but it's role play information for you.
Yeah.
Do you want to read the Seraphim?
I'm gonna need like 4
I'm not digging for dice. I just have more dice than you.
I need 3 more D6s, or D6, yeah.
So there's that, and that'd be this. Don't read that because that's on him, and he's got some secrets. So this, the Seraphim, just that. Okay. And I will admit that I've not actually played this in a group. You are the first group to play test this, so thank you very much. And the PDF book of that is for free download. I believe if you look at the event for this on OzarkCon, there's a link to the website that has the PDF on it. It's about like 220 pages, I think. Well, I wrote every single page except the articles I borrowed from, so yeah. I don't remember it all. At all. No. It's a whole book. How am I supposed to remember a book?
Yeah. Meanwhile, it repeats exactly word for word a Harry Potter book.
I would never be able to do that.
I've never even read a Harry Potter book, so
Mm-hmm.
never even read one.
For some reason, my phone will not let me look at Wild.
I got my 5 D6s.
Yeah, D&D
I
Beyond
didn't.
is weird like that.
Wild Shape is it in the main player's guide? Okay. Well, once just be on the next, to borrow it, and then feel free to take a picture of the thing. Thunderclap.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I went for anyway.
Yeah.
With Domain of Light, so it goes right along there.
Mm-hmm. You can now, reading that, see what their attitude about themselves are.
I run into a bot that like starts doing stuff. I start literally into like.
Now you think about it, I picked a spy as my background. So.
It's really
you know
interesting.
what I do is
But I misuse words.
So we all have to build up our characters and stuff to be able to actually play them. So this is that time right now, because it's like learning the moves on a video game.
misuse like entrepreneur and stuff like that. Like terrible.
Why is the Wi-Fi not working?
I am great at motivational
Is that what's going on?
I'm connected to the guest, and it's just not doing it.
Allows me. I'm going to be. So whatever.
That doesn't surprise me. You already are one.
Because apparently the CR for this certain thing is like 1/2 or 1/4. So if I'm allowed to turn into anything with a CR of 1/4, I'm turning into this
Roger, that is
Excuse me.
I really need to get
I'm so happy with my iPad.
That's what I said, I have an iPad.
Yeah.
But it's a version 2.
Oh, yeah. I got...
really need to get an upgrade.
Maybe. I got the 12.9 2020 because you can get it as part of your contract through Verizon.
I'm concerned for his IQ level.
Which is pretty good. Marketing.
At least I sound gooder.
Okay. So do you have the main of your character down? Yeah. You're good?
I think so.
Alright, no questions about any of the abilities or anything like that?
I'm having questions about this. About one of them. Is it a 1 or 7 on performance?
Mine's a 3.
Say performance is charisma, which is +1. You should be getting your proficiency, so it should be a +3. I'm sorry about that.
What makes a mage a mage? Think about all the little things that you
So,
do.
thank you. I appreciate you pointing that out to me. You might want to double check all your other proficiencies too. Do you need a? Does anyone need any dice or pencils or anything like that?
What it is, you know what I mean?
I will need a pencil actually.
Pencil.
Because there are a lot of things that
You probably might need one.
You'll probably need one to, you know, kind
Let
of
me
mess
steal it
with
back.
Careful.
You know,
There we
oh,
go.
I died. With the,
Community property.
I can also turn into a panther, an ox,
Oh, lovely.
a riding horse.
Yeah, nobody around.
I'm mountain.
I basically, my friend, that is just shortened down.
It has an AC
Magic
13.
used to entertain. Kind of, sort of, in a way.
I'll give you a spell here. in
Well,
one
that's what
second.
it told me on the internet.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's like a low sensory thing. So it's like if you want, if you smell real bad, you can clean yourself up. If you want lights to dance around, you can do it that. It's nothing to like has a lot of weight to it, but it's still pretty neat if you use it correctly.
You can make it bigger than
And I've also stolen
sexually assault to the party. Yes. Don't mind it, Justin. We're talking about
basically
bards.
anything.
Okay.
bard stuff. At least we're all not gonna try to fuck a dragon.
Yeah, but it changes.
Well, there's no dragons in this one, so you won't have to romance me.
Just don't
You won't have a romance. I didn't like that.
That's what happens.
I'll romance a vampire.
Well, it's like they're like, oh, this is the world of imagination. I'm going to romance everything. I'm the world. You're romancing me.
Stop it. Need some help.
You know what you do as a bard is you take the feet grapplings, then you can just fucking throw them around and pin them down.
Just like, love me.
I love me. Do it. It was a force to with that exact voice.
Why
too.
didn't we get-
Just a bard with that voice doesn't even sing or make music. Just grapples people.
Sebastian, why didn't we get food?
I don't know. So I guess it slipped my mind.
We're supposed to remind me.
Why would I have
Okay.
to remind you to get
Because we both have ADHD. One of us is gonna forget.
nourishment.
We both forgot. Nick,
So,
why didn't you get food?
if you need to figure it out, I would say do it right now because pretty soon we're going to be playing.
We only have cash, so, and he's not driving.
They were cooking something up recently, but I don't.
Imagine rolling
Um,
high strength scores and then high
I don't know if they're up for grabs. You might ask them at that table real quick.
You go ask me.
You come with me.
grappling feet, bard.
Have confidence.
She rolled very low.
Oh.
Very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Just go in there. I like food.
That makes me so uncomfortable. Human contact.
Well, you're good with your character, right? Okay. And
You have the DAP.
What happens if I run out of ammo?
you don't have ammo.
I don't. It says I'm 32.
Yeah, well, that's with arrows, right?
Huh?
Is that arrows?
It says ammo 32.
Okay, so if you run out of that, that's it on the battlefield.
Okay, so it's not like I run out of ammo permanently. I just run out of that.
Right, you pretty much have to go back to a point where your sect is and ask them for your daily ration of weapons. So, because they're fighting a war and they want you to win, so they're not going to be like, no, you have to pay us gold for this. But if you're asking for like 600 rounds, then they're going to be like, yeah, you're going to have to give us some gold.
I'll be like, okay, hand it over or you're going to get shot.
Not going to happen.
Intimidation will
Alright.
probably... Oh, I have very high intimidation. Get ready
Right.
for it. This is the first character to have intimidation.
But are you good, so far, are you good with your character, understand it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm starting to understand it more.
Alright, Cody random rolled his, so he's good. Colin, are you good with your character?
You understand it? You just get your PG.
Okay. It's something you have to activate. Your infused items, I believe, you have 4 ways of doing it, but you can only have 2 active at a time. So if you're wanting to make the other 2 options happen, then you would have to spend time tinkering in order to transfer that. But the ones that are infused, that are active, they're either innate or you can choose to turn them on or off.
So they're on right now.
Yeah, let me.
That is true. You misused log guns. You misused
These
words
are the
like
ones that you have knowledge of.
in order to sound smart.
But they're not pronounced smart. These are the ones that are.
See, that is worded in space perfectly.
Yes, this is smart.
This one's hyper-organized in your stats, and this one is dark stats. So it's like I put my goggles on. We have dark stats. It's not like I have to
You should
line
just
up
put like a
to
hyphen.
make it kind of thing.
Like you could put a hyphen and then put a curve.
Okay.
I expect people.
But other than that, you're good with your character? Okay. Let me make sure I remember who has what. That'll be... Alright. And Sebastian, you're Wilfreda, right?
Yes, that's how you say it. Wilfreda.
Wilfreda. It's anything, just like put like a German accent on it and then you got it right.
Acton.
Wait, I'm a neutral character.
He comes back.
Yeah, it means good is good regardless of the law. Or, evil intent.
You're VIP, Sebastian.
That was trick.
You can go get food, you're VIP.
But I don't want to get up.
Can we get it even if we're weakened?
And Nick is Alfric, right? Yeah.
These are very, very unique names.
Yep. Behind the names, I looked up archaic German first names and surnames.
Oh, so they are German.
Yes, they are German.
I paid $100.
You paid more than that.
For pizza.
And let's see.
Have
Emma, you are Yeamon, right?
I'm Baldwin.
Baldwin. Okay. Okay.
Dude, I would be like, dude, my mom's great.
Oh, I'm sorry. Colin is Eamon, right? Yes.
I'll be like, hey, can I have a Popeye sandwich? She's like, yeah, I'll be in.
So who am I missed? Kimber Cook. That would be Shannon. Shannon.
So it's just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Shannon.
Get time. And then like 10 minutes later, I have 2 Popeyes.
Okay. So, are we all good to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need to get something real quick? All right, go for it.
That's not the voice. That ain't the move.
What should I use as a human voice?
I can't do a German accent.
You don't have to. It's just, that's just the most of the inspiration that they had for a lot of this world.
Pretend it's a German accent.
Right.
We're role playing.
You have to make the German accent or you can't play. No, you're good.
Started for half a year and drop down German.
Yeah.
Dyslexic.
You were telling me that.
Seems like a line of vampires.
I can do a British accent.
If you want to, that's good.
I am now British.
All right.
Oh, am I?
Oh, I'm gonna use my old Beastman Hunter.
If you're changing into beasts, do you have access to the stats for the beast you're changing into? All right, good.
Forewarning, it's a velociraptor.
Are you gonna be Are you gonna
I saw wolf and velociraptor, and I was like, wolf would be cool, but if I can look at people and go, that'd be a lot more useful.
There's stats for it, but not in here.
Or Velocipriest, wasn't that a...
Yeah, there's
It's a movie.
something. Oh,
It's really, really
I've heard of that.
horribly
Philosophy.
good. It's so bad, it's good.
Oh, I love that.
But it's like a meme in a lot of.
But yeah,
Okay.
Velocipriest is a movie.
I'm glad
Almost worth watching. It's so bad, it's good.
Have to throw more in there. Okay, so if everyone's ready, yes.
Rough idea of like the voice I should try.
Yours is. I'm sorry. Yours is the. Let me go back to my. Oh, the.
It's very cool.
I mean, you're tribal people. Very simple, very straightforward. I mean, you do have commerce, but it's more like I have my clan, and my clan goes around and we hunt things. So if that kind of gives you an idea.
How about they bring back the Australian one?
Yeah.
Rush them.
Yeah. All right. So are we all good? All right. So I will do my little introduction in the story, and then I'll run through, and we'll get going. So. Okay. Well. All right. Ready? Okay. When the winds of Nosgoth blow, all can hear the dying breaths of their homeland. What was once a verdant area overflowing with green forest and curious wildlife is now starting to rot at its edges. The heartbeat of the world is beginning to slow its pace, and the end times are foretold by whispers from forgotten atrocities which can never be forgiven. Hope is not yet lost. Though the vampire overlords have dominated Nazgoth, destroyed all competition, and enslaved humanity as beasts no better than cattle, hope remains. It has been sheltered in the houses of the wronged, within caves of mystics, between realms of magic, and inside the eyes of wild beasts. It is still there, and it has been waiting for a long time. Finally, the humans have found the means to kill their oppressors and turn back the tides of war. With new magics and weapons, average people have taken up the banner of warriors and begun to fight back. The human sects, organizations of different origins, have learned the wisdom in fighting as one. They have begun to join their efforts in extermination of the undead plague. No longer will they be martyrs for a lost cause. They have finally the chance to be remembered as the heroes they were meant to be, and they will do so together. So, as I've described, you all come from different backgrounds, but humanity feels like this is their last chance, and it's a good one to collect and fight while the vampires are just now realizing that they have something to worry about. Now, the Iron Guard, they're the ones that have been most militarized. They're the largest army force, but they're not necessarily the strongest as far as weapons go, because they're so diversified, and they're having to not only protect cities, but they're also having to go in and do hit-and-run missions, which is no way to really win a war when you know your enemy's coming. Which, suddenly, all these other groups of people start coming in and helping each other to drive back the vampires. So the leaders of all these different organizations come to the conclusion of we need to work together, and the best way to do that is start bringing individual members of each group with each other, have them fight with one another, and then we can use that as resources of, oh, you know all about, this group, you all know about that group, so we can start communicating and finally win. This is one of those particular situations. This group is one of those experiments where your master, your mentor, your lieutenant, your whatever has chosen you as part of one of these experimental band of warriors that are just going to travel and do secret missions and then eventually come back into the fold and help the humanity as a whole. So, let's see. So you were each told to, on horseback, meet at the secret location at a forgotten graveyard. And only at the appearance of a full moon should you leave for your next location. The next location is going to be part of one of the Iron Guard roaming war parties, which is, I think, actually, and I never remember any of my own names on any of this stuff. You'll learn that very quickly. The Roaming Wolves? Yeah. Yeah, I think they were called the Roaming Wolves, led by Chief Yarbrough. So, let's see, is that right? Yeah. So, this is the point where I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself to yourselves. So one by one, you're going to, on horseback, arrive at this forgotten old graveyard and wait for the other one to come by. So this is your chance to connect, to see who's who, what your abilities are, how you're going to mix well. So we have 8 of you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm just going to roll the die here. And this will determine who comes first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So actually this makes perfect sense. 1. You arrive first. You probably have a little bit more insight as to the knowledge of war and how what the intense purposes was behind this. So, and this is probably going to be your one of the secret cemeteries of your people.
Okay.
So you are there first. And then you do not arrive again.
Got something at home.
7.
Oh, hello.
Yes. So you're standing there. Are you hidden? Are you standing outright? What's going
I
on?
really wouldn't be seen probably till everyone else showed up, but okay.
So you most likely hide?
Yeah.
All right, then give me a stealth.
I
you don't-
will just ask for, like, act clueless. Can I do that?
Can you what?
Can I just act clueless, like I don't see him?
Are those all different?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'll let you use my PC or mine. I'm a player dice. That's mine, so don't lose them.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I packed all my stuff, had everything ready, thought it was in the car.
We use dice to figure things out. Gives a random event.
12 and 4, so 16.
Okay. So,
All black.
all right, going back.
Cemetery.
So, Wilfreda, are you actively searching for people, or are you just showing up?
I'm just showing up because I was told I was here.
What's your passive perception?
That's a good question. 13.
You're the first one here.
You're the first one.
Yes. Wilfreda Lendon is the first one here. Lucky you. And it's a nice little graveyard. It's almost...
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's no buildings around it, which kind of helps hide it, especially with the trees and stuff. And the sound effect noise is all the it's nice.
It's very peaceful.
It's very peaceful. You see you see her, Wilfreda Lendon, arrive.
I always play the, this is perfect.
It's fine, man. This is role play. We all get to be whatever we want. Well, the turtles are not in this. There's some limitations to my imagination. All right, so real quickly, even though she is not seeing him, can you give a general description of what your character looks like?
Human, like everybody else. Black. Everything I wear is black.
Black.
I'm telling you, like midnight.
Like
My
midnight
chain
black.
shirt is made of black metal. Sneaking is the thing. I wear black, except for the inside of my shield, which is a mirror. I keep a cover on it, so if I want to pull it off.
Oh, so you can check
The
behind
horse
you?
is black, everything is black. So I hide in the shadows, and when I come out, ding! I'm a priest of light. So when I pull out my shield and make a thing, I can make spotlights with it. Kind of cool stuff.
Just spotlight them.
Cool.
That's the premise.
What are you kids doing?
All right. So, describe your character real quick.
6 shooters.
All right. There you go.
Best description all day.
All right. So,
Just revolver ocelot.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much. Just like if you guys ever played Overwatch McCree, but I got 2 of those things.
Cool.
okay.
Juggling pistols.
So you arrive. You believe you're the first one there.
I believe.
He's got like
Are you going to
6
be
of them.
out in the center, or are you going to do anything? Or are you just going to wait? What?
I'm pretty much just gonna stand by the entrance and wait.
Okay. So then, let's see. Baldwin Hull arrives. Baldwin, yes. So, are you sneaking? Or are you just arriving? What's
Just
up?
arriving.
Okay. Give a description of your character, Baldwin.
I have a bow.
You actually have a automated crossbow.
I have an automated crossbow, and I have like looks. From what the looks of it, I'm assuming it's a yellow tinted armor.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
little
it's
dirty.
it's like a leather armor.
A little rusty here and there.
hmm
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So, Baldwin enters, and Wilfreda is standing there.
Hello.
Hello there.
You're going to do this? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going there.
Accents are a
I don't
staple
do
of roleplay.
voices.
It's gonna be great.
I mean,
Fredo, right?
Wilfreda London. You don't have to have an accent if you don't want to.
My nickname is Will.
Will.
That,
Okay.
that will make it a whole lot easier for me.
That will make it easier for us.
Okay, cool.
All right.
The full name and then some.
I can't read this.
I can't read this.
I can't read it.
It's not my handwriting. It was D&D has created these nice little character sheets, but the problem is that all the fillable dialogue is actually signature boxes, so it has no formatting whatsoever, and I had no control over that, and it took a long time to make sure that thing even could fit in there. But if someone wants to read that for them, that'd be fine.
Wilfreda, Landon, Videns, Tenebral.
Yes, that's Latin. Videns tenebras.
Oh, okay, it's Latin. I thought.
I honestly
didn't know if
thought
it
you
was
said
like French
tennis
or
brawl.
tennis bra.
No.
Tenebral.
Well, I introduced myself as Will.
You can do it.
Oh my word, this is very unusual for me. Hello, I am Will. I'm wearing my helmet.
Let them do the
so you
thing.
can't see my face.
Baldwin?
Baldwin.
Hello there, I'm Baldwin.
What is your profession or your skill base?
I'm an auction.
That sounds very lovely.
Can I tell him like what? Can I tell him this?
Your choice. I mean, it would be a good idea to be like, say, hey, I am part of the Iron Guard, because that's your military organization. But beyond anything on that is your choice.
I'm Justin. So I'm guessing I wouldn't redo
Lost Seers of...
whenever I would go myself.
Just random, yeah,
Hey,
pretty
I'm
much.
I'm from Texas.
I don't know there.
I'm part of the Iron God.
Okay, now this is where it's hard for me to read, but use your eyesight.
Use your eyesight.
Sisters of Avernus.
Avernus.
Yeah, or Avernus. I would say Avernus because Avernus is a different place. So I'd say Sisters of Avernus.
The Lost Sisters of Avernus?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm from the Lost Sisters of Avernus.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. Now let's wait for the other party members to arrive.
Which would be you. So describe your character real quick.
Gladiator, basically. I'm a human male called Graham. That's about it.
Do we need to restate all of our stuff again?
No, I mean we're not gonna have to be like, okay, everyone introduce yourselves all over again. No. So we'll just assume you give a good description of who you are, and then once we're all in here, then you guys can talk whatever, and then I'll push forward the story. So next is
Few questions.
yes,
Am I able to do some pre-preparation before showing up?
yeah.
I would like to get a pack of wolves to come in with my is my beast smash related? It's like a.
Are you using a spell, or are you just getting a bunch of wolves to follow you?
I'm just gonna debate with a bunch of wolves using speak with
Well,
animals.
he's got the sign out the side that says now hiring for pack of wolves.
Yeah.
That's true. But you're gonna have to roll animal kin to see if you get some good hires.
You gotta make sure they're decent and don't try to kill you.
What am I rolling?
Just your was it animal kin or animals?
Animal handling.
Animal handling.
I'm pretty sure he can get them because wolves like them.
That's true.
That's a 9.
You get 1 because your squeaker toy is just not doing it today.
Like, I tried it and the squeak just kind of disappeared. I'm like,
Squeaker just disappeared.
Yeah. So you have 1. I'll give you 1 because it is kind of cool.
so the moment I don't really make myself known, but my horse will ride into the middle of them and just kind of like sit in there like it's all lost and scared and stuff. And I'm gonna kind of just like trail along the edges of the thing, making sure that the surrounding area is safe, inside is safe. I don't know who these people are, so I'm not gonna trust them instantly.
Okay. So first, you need to roll stealth.
Imagine a horse sitting like a dog. Between everybody.
It's like
It runs to the center
like-
and sits.
That's a modified 20.
Okay, I think all their passives are below that, and normally I would go further in depth with that, but this is just first meeting, so we're not going to attack each other. Sorry. Now roll perception.
I would fight for the hell of it.
You might.
That's a 9.
You don't see anything other than the individuals that are standing out.
Okay. Then I'll just go on to like one of the higher, like the buildings that they put dead bodies in for like rich people.
Oh, the not mausoleum, but is it a mausoleum? Okay,
Just
mausoleum.
Go on top of one of those and then just kind of sit like Assassin's Creed style, just looking at it.
Okay.
wow.
All right. Now we have. Oh, shit, where the fuck is her name? Kimbra Cook.
So this lady's gonna ride into the. She's not trying to hide anything. She's just looking kind of proudly. She's looking interested in who's there. Hello, I'm Kimbra. Nice to meet you guys.
Okay.
You can see that she has her mask and she has her hands kind of, but it's not out. It's just there.
And a whip.
She is ready to kill
I
us.
thought the hand cannon was like
Looks
a
like
gun,
she's
not
ready.
like an Iron Man hand cannon.
It's a actual gun hand cannon, not a hand in a can. Unless you want it that way, I'm willing to. As long as the effects are the same, I don't care.
Probably do need 2 hands.
Nah, who needs
Insert
2
her hand
hands?
into this cannon.
People live without 2 hands all the time.
Okay. All right.
You can whip off your hands.
Another
You're really aggressive here.
I need
Mega Man.
Come in to the.
Man, the last one to show
I
up.
like the cemetery. So he's the actual archer.
Yeah, you are an archer, but you are an army archer. He's more of yeah.
I am Eamon. I was sent by the Watchers of the Dark Eden. Heard you needed an archer. Graveyard, an interesting place to meet. I guess you guys are picking out a spot. I see you brought your pets. Good to know you're all taking this seriously.
You're what actually
He can see the horse.
roll perception.
Thank you.
Oh.
15 plus.
Can he like see you?
I think he can see.
Just standing there stupid.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Yeah, so
You
yeah.
can at least see the dog.
He's,
Moment he says that, I just look back down and go, wolves are more trusting than people. And due to the circumstances, animals are way safer to be around than people.
You got that right. So we got a bunch of people now, so I guess we're stuck with what we got.
Oh, by the way, since we're exchanging information, names Alf,
Alfred takes.
Okay.
Good to see you, Alfred. I guess at least one of us is going to survive this.
So I'm going to try and stealth in because
Okay.
I'm stepping lightly.
All right.
But even if I'm not seen, it looks like I'm normally walking.
Okay, these guys rolled pretty good high perception, so you're gonna have to be lucky on this.
16.
Plus, or is that the number, or is that plus something?
That's 16.
Okay, so
With everything added.
I don't believe you 6 see him, but you 2 definitely do.
Do we roll to see them?
Are you actively looking and have a reason to be actively looking for someone other than these 2? That would be. If you're like, I am actively looking, that's when you roll. If it's just I'm around, that's passive, and I believe all your passives are not high enough. And they were actively rolling. You kind of get a whole hang of this, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm actively rolling perception, and then it's like the DM's like, I've made a monster.
I mean, I can do that. I really want to start this.
So those 2 hear a couple sticks crack as I'm walking. The others don't hear it at all.
Okay.
Well, it's
They
not
see
very
me.
Do we know he's there now, though?
Yeah, you guys they were talking, so
I thought that's what my question was. I was talking to them pretty still.
yeah.
No, you're whispering.
Imagine like Loki just like behind you, in front of you, just punches you in the throat.
All right, so you 2 hear the sticks crunching around. Actually,
You say as soon as he's here, I'll walk out from behind him and say, okay, now that you're all here.
okay.
Just shotgun. Just,
Oh wait, he was still hiding. Ooh.
Yeah, so now you got someone coming out. I did not have you guys roll for. Actually, what was your stealth?
It probably wasn't very good, but it's gone by now.
All right. I'll say that you guys had an idea,
It was like a
but
16 or an 18.
so you are.
I kind of want to be a straight.
So
No.
Ranger and.
Overly, like, I'm in the army.
Yeah.
I don't need.
oh,
Actually, you 2 would have known
Yeah, basically.
about the Seraphim, because you guys have been traveling quite a bit. You know, occasionally you run into Seraphim. Seraphim were the ones who used to be the vampire fighters, and then kept dying, and then were fighting vampires again, and then kept dying, and then kept dying, and then kept dying.
So they're you're one of them.
It's our job to kill vampires. You
But-
guys can try.
yeah.
But it's our job to kill vampires.
Just see a monk walking in with what looks like monastery robes. He almost kind of looks like a priest. Think of it that way. He's not a priest, but he kind of looks like one. He's got leather wrapped hands, just basic like sandals that you would find at a monastery.
I'm just gonna drop the accent and be American.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
like wooden sandals.
It's too much work being
Leather
British.
wrapped hands, basic like robes.
Hope you heard that, Lucy.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I
Orange,
forgive you,
yellow,
British
reddish
dollars out
robes,
there.
like red stripes
Please
on
forgive
it,
me.
yellow linings on that, orange base robes. Walking around. Hello.
Welcome to the party.
I am Fargo. I'm just a basic monk. My village and monastery were ransacked.
Graham, Fargar, and Alfred, Eamon,
Were any of them around here?
Timbra,
No, they all
Baldwin,
We're in a cemetery, that's kind of what it
kind of all written down where they're sitting at the table.
You just hear my character just
You know, if in character you become friends with the artificer, I bet they would make that for you in game.
okay. How far? I got up here pretty easily. How far is it going to be to get down?
I will make you roll to get down off a mausoleum. They're not that high.
Okay. Jump off.
Yeah.
Hard work getting the dog off of there.
Just my wolf on top of the thing, just be like, ah, Poochie.
Ah,
Gosh.
Ah, Fuji.
Alfred, and your associate, Wolfie Wolfington.
Yes.
What is your associate's name? Shadow Panther. How original.
How?
All right. So, you again, your orders were to remain in the graveyard until the rise of the full moon, and at that time is whenever you we'll say that you know the exact location of where you're supposed to be going, which is in the Whispering Meadows towards the west.
Whispering Meadows.
Yes, where the Iron Guard army of the let's see, they are called. Yes, the Roaming Wolves army, led by Chief Otto Yarbrough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone introduced.
I was a 6-shooter.
Not much I've ever now. I've
First
heard of
dish.
this meadows before.
If I find yourself
Roll history.
6-shooter.
What are we rolling for?
Just gonna
He asked a question.
like
Warrior type.
Yeah. Gladiator.
8.
I'm the warlock.
I mean, you've heard of the name. You know it's in Nazgoth. You don't know specifically where on the map, but if you saw a map, maybe you might be able, like, it's in this general area.
I'm more meant like danger.
Again, you rolled an 8.
Yeah.
You generally know that you're getting close to one of the borders of vampire territory and human territory.
So I know to kind of be.
Yeah,
Are we having a conversation before the full moon or no?
that would be depending on you.
Does anyone want to start a fight?
I would like to make a bet. Which one of us would die first?
I'm betting the 6-shooter.
Okay. I'm gonna step forward. Hold on a second. Before we start trading blows, let everyone who doesn't want to fight get out.
How about this?
If none of you want to fight, you're in the wrong group. We're going to be fighting vampires.
Yeah, but I don't
This.
want humans
How about
into
instead of
vampires right
fighting
now.
ourselves, fight the vampires ourselves?
I then start
Don't
taking
they-
inventory of like
Actually, off
make sure it-
emotions.
What a
There's a
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to say, honestly.
But he's right. This is the way.
All right. Do you lead the way?
Yes, I will start it off. And the full moon's out. The full moon is here. I guess let's go.
All right. Okay.
Get the wolf.
Yes.
Right.
On horseback.
So it'll take you were told to leave by the full moon, with the idea of you're traveling for a little while and then you'll camp, not the idea that you're traveling all night long, because then you would have to deal with exhaustion, and I'm not that mean. So you do camp for the night, and I'll give you the fact of you're not going to be attacked. But when you wake up in the next morning and continue, you do eventually see in the distance the wandering meadows, and you see.
There's Whispering Meadows.
Oh, sorry, whispering.
Past the wandering to get to the
You do, yeah. The wandering to get through the wandering to get to the whispering. Again, I forget names all the time. I'm not going to be perfect in this. Yeah. Turn left for the Whispering Meadows. Man. Right. So, when you get to the area, you do see in the distance that there are a bunch of military tents, a lot of soldiers standing around, horses, that kind of thing. I even have sound effects for it. Ooh, you have to listen to a stupid commercial before it gets to it, though, so I'm sorry about that. Let's see.
Not very far, apparently.
Well, I can't find the main one, but I have a backup one.
3 points
See.
of exhaustion goes to you.
Again, this.
Just walk through spaces.
I did.
Oh. Okay.
But it's at night. I'm used to moving around.
Okay.
I praise up at night.
So,
Why would I sleep while they're awake?
as you arrive on horseback, roll, anyone who's interested, roll perception. Or actually, sorry, not perception, insight.
Insight
No,
roll.
that's like
Or maybe you kind of suck as a roll.
I got a
Insight's
20.
one of my main skills, but I
I
rolled
rolled a
6.
2.
I got
I got a 20.
There it is.
Okay,
So-
one insight for first level
You're
party.
actually pretty good at that in
I
general.
even have
So-
proficiency in insight.
Yeah, I'm using the middle dice.
So who rolled above 10? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you three notice that the Seraphim and the Iron Guard soldier, they're accepted. It's not weird that they're here. Everyone else, you're kind of getting a judgmental look because this, again, the groups have not been able to integrate too well just yet. There are certain respects, like we respect you, and especially if you're in a city, everyone's pulling together. Outside of a city, it's still odd. Like we don't know how much we can kind of trust you attitude, and that's the look you're getting is like I've walked into the wrong town kind of look, but they keep going doing their job because you're obviously human attitude.
I basically smile on my face. I can take every single one of you. Not all at once.
Not all at once. Maybe 2 at a time, but not all at once.
Okay.
A little cocky, aren't we?
No, you have to look up in these situations, or else they're just gonna kick you out.
I don't have that problem.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have impotence.
All right.
No, I'm behind.
And everyone also roll a perception roll. Yes. You automatically succeed, but you got the 20, so you super
I
succeed.
rolled a 20 anyway.
Yeah. I will give you a little bit of extra because you would have known anyways.
I would make our characters fight.
I got 12.
So 12,
I
12,
got 7.
15, 17, 14. So okay. So you four and you notice that one of the tents are not red and white, but actually white and gold. You know exactly whose tent this is, and that is Prioris Dominita. You automatically know, like, oh, okay, good. One of the big names are here. But it's obvious that that tent is very much distinct and different from the others. One of the, this is obviously not their warband kind of tent. And as you keep going in, let's see.
If it's something they should know, I will tell the rest of it is.
Right. Let's see.
It is fortuitous.
Okay. So you actually both of you know who Chief Otto's tent where it is, and as you both of you leading up to it. Let's see. Where's that from? So one of the cavalrymen are right there, just standing next to the door as you approach. Iron Guard. You're Iron Guard, right? He's
Iron Guard.
Iron Guard.
Iron Guard.
And nods at you, and then sees the rest. Are you the ones?
Indeed we are.
They're here.
Yes.
I just look at him and I whistle and then I don't.
Oh yeah, you said.
One moment. And he goes into the tent. About 5 minutes go past, and again you get that feeling of everyone's looking around, seeing what the new guys are, and not too impressed looks.
They're not looking at us, are they?
I mean, they are, you're standing with them kind of attitude, but
Most of them.
you know,
Can I roll intimidation?
you want to intimidate one of them?
I just want to look intimidating, not intimidate.
Okay, roll intimidation.
I'm probably gonna be like a fluffy bunny after
Fluffy bunny.
modified 20.
Okay. So, how are you silently, or are you just...
Up straight, everything's covered, and then hands on my guns, not doing anything. Just that's how I rest now.
Maybe you do some 6-shooter gun tricks thing? Okay.
Chuckles him.
Throws it up.
Okay. and they see that, and some of the eyes start looking away.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But I just
Oh,
nod
well,
and
we
I
look
keep
away
walking.
from the system.
Okay. Eventually, the cavalryman returns. Says, "You may all enter." And he holds it back. You're first one through. All right, cool.
I guess I'm after him. Like,
All right.
Yes,
He's
going
like,
right
you may enter, and I like get up to go in. And he's like,
All right.
okay, hold on.
All right. So when all of you enter, you see Chief Otto Yarbrough sitting behind the large table, and the table's covered in maps and figurines. Who has history?
I have history.
You have history?
Like,
I have a
like,
plus 2 to
I have a
Okay.
2 in history.
If you have any history, make a roll.
double digits.
Double digits.
When it becomes appropriate, I'll announce all the tribes.
He
Okay.
says, well,
So
you're like,
let's do this, and then we'll do
That
that.
makes sense now, Sebastian.
What was it?
Use long words to try and sound smart. Yeah, you
16? 15?
16.
16? That's a map of Nazgoth, and those are representations of both. Yeah, that you succeeded in your roles, and where the figurines are placed, you can kind of assess that the army of both sides is about equal, which is why they're all intense. We finally have the upper hand kind of attitude. All right.
We finally have a chance.
Okay, so Chief Otto Yarbrough, yes, let me see. He's about a man in his 60s, but he's very fierce, very no-nonsense attitude. Hardly moves any muscles in his face except when he squints. Let's see. Okay, so you enter and you immediately say,
Chief Otto, Yarbrough, we come bearing good news. We now have the upper hand. We have a wolf on our side.
The wolf ran away.
No, it hasn't run away. It's just,
you know this already, but he made a hand motion to the ground, and you know this already as well. When you meet a chief in the Iron Guard, and he's anyone above rank of you don't go, sir, like in the normal army. You kneel down to the ground. So as a superior officer, he makes the motion of which you two know, you more so know.
Can I bow down to him?
You can roll history.
Can I bow down to him? And
Yeah.
just tell them that, like, by the way.
You think maybe you should kneel? But yeah, you definitely know. So you kneel down and say what to the rest?
I would kneel down if I were you guys. You're supposed to kneel down the higher ups.
I look around and I'm like,
I'm gonna kneel.
You do that, but don't
yeah,
kneel?
like the whole like clan thing.
Do you kneel?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I come take off my helmet and I kneel. Like,
Good.
these are my traditions. Eat your
Well, at that point, I'll kneel.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use his formal title,
Yes,
and
Chief.
I will introduce each of the clans in order that
You
they
already know
arrive.
who I am, right? I'm assuming.
In order that they arrive by their name and their title, because we've all talked about that,
Does he know who
formally to him.
What was that?
Does the chief know who he is?
You don't know.
I just know he knows me.
Yeah. Okay. After hearing that, someone else comes into the tent, and you know this because you rolled and you already know her. That's Prioris Dominita.
Do I know her?
No, unless you want to roll history and get really high on it.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Very unusually beautiful woman. It's all in the face. Like, that is a unusually beautiful woman in the face to be in this kind of military area. Like all Seraphim priests of higher order, she is completely shaven, and the rest of her body is hidden in chainmail and garb of, because you're familiar with it, and I would just give it to them, of this.
Body is hidden in chainmail guard, so she really might be.
Yeah, she might be. But she's Seraphim. Like, very much Seraphim. Alright. And once you can roll insight, if you're... okay. When she walks in, what are you looking at?
Probably the ground when she walks in.
Oh, I'm just looking at Chief.
You can roll insight. Fair enough. You can roll perception.
Around.
Okay.
See the dimensions of the. I guess I'm looking at the ground still, like
I'm
that
looking
way.
at the chief.
Okay, you roll insight.
I'm gonna look at the.
I'm looking at the tree.
I feel like
Or
I know
insight.
better than-
And you got a what? Oh, natural 20. What?
Kind of weird.
One's a little smaller.
That's all you got from that?
Yeah.
He intends.
You got it.
Didn't
You
get
got
it.
it.
I was looking at the ground.
14.
14. Okay, so I believe you two were the ones that got above 15. That was like, okay. The general's not necessarily pleased with her presence.
Just stare at him. Oh, he's happy.
So this is losing its Wi-Fi, so I'm just gonna kind of turn that down.
I feel like me being part of the Iron Guard, I know better than to look at him for some reason. Like I'm just like I'm not looking at him. I'm gonna get slapped. Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna sit right here looking for him.
So okay, and you see. Let's see.
It's violent stairs to the front. It's nice.
Command to get up.
We're over here. We know what to do.
So the chief goes around his table and sits down because you don't know why, but that's what he does. And the prioress goes up to each and every one of you, starting with you, and we'll go around this way because it's going to work that way for the rest of the game. Let's see.
Are we still kneeling?
You're supposed to be until he tells you to get up, basically.
I'm waiting for the command.
You should know the answer to this, being one of the true guard.
It's a wonder he didn't just stab you out.
But why will the vampires lose?
It's like.
They were born to lose. It's our job to conquer them.
And you, why will the vampires lose?
I'm just trying to do my job.
That's a good answer. Why will the vampires lose this war?
Well, I'll never again let vampires take people close to me. Everybody else, I know that's wrong. I'm never forget that.
And you?
Vampires cannot bear the light. We cannot bear to be without it. This is the way.
And you? Why will the vampires lose?
With the forest on your side, you shall have the advantage.
With the master of our key, we will be able to take them out swiftly.
And you?
They have no honor. They have no will. We have will and strength to overcome.
And you? Why will the vampires lose?
I believe we have the upper hand.
Can I point something out? I feel like his character is really, really cocky in so many ways.
Well, good role playing.
Like, it's great. I love it.
So-
But you're like,
Dominita stands in front of you, says, "The gods are why we are going to claim victory with their grace, and the unclean only worship themselves."
can I make a really shitty comment towards her?
You keep asking, can I do this? Can I do that? And I'm like, just
Do it.
Just roll.
What gods? Look at the situation we're in now. They should have saved us sooner.
I pull my holy symbol out from underneath my breastplate. The only thing on me that has any color is bright silver. Ting.
with pain comes purity, and death is the strongest pain of all. If we all must die in order to make this world pure again, then that is what is going to happen. And that's the greatest wisdom I can bestow upon all of you.
Hence the sound of the sun.
And at this point, Chief Yarbrough is like,
He's so upset. He's like,
yep. Okay. So on with the debriefing. There is a village nearby this location. It is called Harkin. It is a small cattle and wheat farm community, and it is right in the middle of the warring territories. It is not necessarily a great village. It's not going to win the war for us, but every little saying a grain of sand counts. It has not been made into a blood farm yet, because it's too far away from the vampire strongholds. The closest clan to it are the Melchiah. It hasn't been raised because it gives crops to sustain the vampire cities. However, the Melchahim occasionally visit the city at night for wild feedings. People of Harkon have had enough of this, and they sought out allies. Harkon reached out to the Seraphim, and they in turn asked for the Iron Guard's help. The sects have not yet accepted the Seraphim as true allies, but this is a good start. And then the priestess Dominica interrupts him and says, the Harkons are devout. They worship the gods, and they saw our light, and they sought us out. They trust in the Seraphim. Now, when you go into the city to exterminate these vampires, it is very important that you do not harm any of the citizens there. If you do, I fear that they will lose faith in the Seraphim, and the Seraphim will in turn lose faith in the Iron Guard. Now,
Is this the woman talking?
yes. Now, that's a consequence of war, which I am willing to accept to some extent. If too many die, then the Seraphim look weak, and we are not weak.
I have one question. The vampires are distinctly different from the humans?
Yeah, out of character or in character?
Like, out of character.
Out of character, yes. They usually are, no matter which one they are, in their first stage, they look like dead humans. They may have like a little bit of a difference here and there. The Melchahim look like they're kind of rotting. The Rahabim look like they have scales.
Exactly like humans or not, because they look exactly
No.
like it's a lot harder to see.
I mean, the young ones are a little bit harder to determine, but then after that first phase, they mutate and become monstrous.
Lovely.
Yeah, and they're very obviously, that's a vampire. Before then, that's probably a vampire. Oh yeah, that's definitely a vampire. And the Melchahim, again, are easier to identify because they're starting their rot. They're the vampire clan that can't keep themselves from rotting, so they try and think of creative ways to solve that problem, which your character would be very familiar with this particular clan. Mm-hmm.
Or get murdered.
So, I will allow the debriefing to continue, but before I go, for those who are willing to accept it, I am willing to say a prayer and bless you.
I'll take a blessing.
Okay.
We'll see what this does.
All right. So,
Is she a different order?
hmm?
Is she a different order than I am as far as?
There's really just, it's like, think of it as this: clerics, paladins. You're either one or the other. Or you might possibly be a wizard, but that's very rare. It's usually clerics or paladins. So, right. And she speaks in a tongue that you are actually, is anyone familiar in Celestial? I don't think I gave it to anyone.
Is it common or not?
I speak
Sylvan?
Common and abysmal.
Okay. So no one speaks Celestial. So she goes to each one who accepted it and sings in a very it's like a language that's mostly beautiful song, and says the same one to everyone who wanted it, and then she leaves. Okay, and
Oh, before the prioress leaves,
yes.
thank her for bestowing her blessing.
You need a comb.
I say that each
Oh, I brushed it.
of the sects has sent one of their best to represent here. And if we are successful, I can promise you great sects.
She totally didn't get that,
I got it.
and says the true blessing comes from the inside.
Wow.
My character just sitting there like,
Is she a blonde?
You wouldn't know. She's bald.
No hair of
Ah.
any kind.
Right. So she leaves, and the chief sits there. About 2 minutes go by. Stands up. Let me be perfectly honest with you, and I know this will offend you, but it's the truth. I want the vampires dead. I want them dead. I don't care where they are, how powerful they are, where you find them, what you have to do to them, but they are dead. If the entire city gets burned down, that's a sad thing, unless the vampires burn down inside the city with them.
My kind of man. I like it.
Yes. They, as far as I am concerned, that is the most important mission that you're about to embark on. Yes, save the citizens if you must, and if you can, because the Seraphim are allies. But as far as I'm concerned, and this is not the opinion of Ironguard, this is my opinion, kill the vampires. Let everything else happen as it may. You come back here without all those vampires dead. Have enough influence in Ironguard to station you in places that your lifespan will go down quite a bit. Do we understand each other?
You don't have to threaten me with death. Only promise me with player kills.
Ask and ye shall receive.
And I leave it. Like I literally crack all my knuckles.
Okay. It's Chief Otto Yarbrough.
No, I'm just.
How are you gonna try to pronounce that?
Just say Chief Otto.
Good to see you again, Chief Otto.
Do I know you, soldier?
I'm part of the Iron Guard. Should know me.
I've lost so many brothers and sisters that it is hard to remember all their names, but if you perform well, yours will be one of the names that I remember. He picks up a rolled map and hands it to you. That is the map of the city, which I actually will give to you. There we go. And as you get in there, I'll explain all the letters. And he says...
Honestly uncomfortable holding it. It's not black.
Oh, it sticks out. It's not fashionable, is it? Your contact is Elder Faramond Wittkind. You know the way. You know who to contact. You were all dismissed.
Is that where we're going, or is that where we're at?
Okay,
That's where you're going.
I am.
Alright. I'm sitting up against a post with my dog, just kind of like cuddled right next to me, just like, oh, we're finally leaving? Come on, let's go.
We're already outside of the tent after you cracked your knuckles.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was
Right.
saying. I cracked my knuckles and I left, and throughout the whole time I noticed no one followed me, so I just sat down, cuddled with my wolf. And when someone came out, I was like, oh, finally, it's time to go.
Okay. Does anyone... Actually, it would be a history to read a map, wouldn't it?
Can I roll history?
Who are you giving the map to someone since you didn't want it?
I just look at it and I'm
Yeah.
like, pretty
Okay.
pictures.
Pretty pickers.
I guess I need to roll history to see if I can read
Pretty pickers.
Yeah.
Understand that.
Yeah.
Let's see if I read it. Or just like pretty pictures.
Alright, who else can read a map? 'Cause I'm a little stupid.
I let the scout see it too.
I got an 8.
Modified 20.
13,
I've just seen a couple
20.
of pretty well
We'll give it to you.
pictures.
Nick
You
can now read the map.
you know that this is going to be about a day and a half's ride before you arrive at Harkin. So you're probably going to get close to the evening. So when you get there, it's going to be night. You're probably thinking that this might have been designed this way.
Probably.
I have an automatic bow and a whip. What does a whip do against vampires?
Well, I mean, you have the stats for the whip, so other than, nothing special beyond being a whip.
Okay, I just...
This is not a Belmont situation, but you can look like one.
Detains me though.
Snap.
She did ask about it.
Fishing
on
Castlevania.
What?
On the way
No,
there,
I was
that
asking what
Castlevania?
this particular
Yeah.
book was like
Okay.
doing.
on the way
It
there,
whips.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start asking like
I will
individually.
beat you
Does
when we get back to the
anyone
house.
know about this plan? And you said her
With your
earlier.
whip, preferably.
Okay, so when she tells me it's like, oh yeah, I know a little bit about this plan, I'm gonna be like, okay, can you tell me like everything you know?
That would be her decision, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So then like everybody knows what their weaknesses are.
It's a bit too much to read just right off the bat, but this is what the elders
I would play Barter as like the command spell. So along with the grappling and the charisma things and friends. Just imagine that. Just command.
Okay, so day and a half. Does anyone else want to do anything while they're?
You can ever go find the trash can really do it.
Yeah, sure. If
I'm gonna say for obvious reasons, I'm not the best team captain, so I'm just gonna kind of get all the information that I can, give it to everybody, and then go, okay, who am I gonna take orders from?
that's a good point. Is there going to be a party leader?
You keep handing it to him. I thought that was already kind of determined.
I didn't determine anything. I mean,
I will be the party leader.
that's.
Oh yeah.
Is it debatable? Are we get? I mean, Cody,
I can't bring him out to the meeting.
who's the leader of the group?
Not me, I'm just a.
I'm pretty sure that we should all just like converse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What do you think?
As the DM, I'm telling you, someone brought up the idea of who's going to be the leader.
And
now-
as the DM, who do you think should be the leader?
Are you asking me personally? I'm not giving you that answer.
Yeah, get out of here. We're
I was
supposed to be
trying.
role playing, not
I mean-
acting.
Hey, how do I play my
Totally
character?
different.
He already said he didn't want to be the leader.
I'm just a peaceful monk.
Ours are the add-on characters to the campaign, so it's supposed to be about the six
If
of
Yeah, we just kind of.
you know, sorry to be crass, but if my
I don't think you're sorry to be crass.
I don't think so either, honestly.
okay, I'm not. But if my clan leader thought I could be a leader, I would have been clan leader. So fuck that.
Are you sure about that?
So,
Noted, Wolf Boy.
Wolf boy, wolf man.
I'll wave over a runner.
Thank you.
No,
so
the
much.
wolf man.
Hmm?
I'll wave over a runner of some sort. None of what we need. Provisions. We're headed out almost immediately.
Oh yeah. So
And that's
I'll give you that. You would have had provisions.
We're in the war camp.
Yeah, you still have your horses, and I'll say that you were given provisions.
Ready.
Okay,
We need our
is there
stuff.
anybody
Yeah.
else who
Send them
doesn't
to
want
get it ready so long.
Yeah, I mean this is the army. They're not going to screw you over. They're going to make sure you're well supplied. So you can share that information that they have basic rations for the next we'll say 4 days.
The idea is that once it's
No,
wrapped
it's
together,
me and
calling people who
Okay. That's fair.
Oh no, she raised her hand.
for not one dude. You don't want to?
I'll fight you right here, right now, Sebastian.
I'm not a leader, Dad.
Okay, hold on.
Will.
Let's have this
Will.
conversation.
Okay.
No, I was like, I'll fight you for this leader role. You know, see what-
Let's not
Fight in character.
Let's
Oh,
not fight about
I was the
this.
first in the graveyard.
Let's take a friendly
No, you weren't.
vote.
Fight,
That I
fight,
knew of.
fight, fight.
I instantly take off my lion skin cap and I go put your votes in the hat.
Everything just keeps like appearing on you. What do you have?
You didn't see my character.
No, you didn't
No,
show
you
any
didn't
of us.
show
He's
anybody.
showing everybody.
You just sneakily go boom boom on top of Grave.
That is my character. See,
Where's the
Do you
fucking
wanna be
hat? Where's the
which of them
fur
has actually
hat?
got
Oh, whatever.
military?
Okay, so whatever.
Iron Guard is really the only military. You have the alchemist, who was a band of rebels. You have the scout, who is closer to an army. You have the tribesman, who's not an army at all. You have a monk. You have one of the prophets, who's considered a witch doctor. And then you have the vanguard, who are from prisoners.
Disappointment.
So, amongst your
I
tribes,
think everyone can get behind that.
she's the only one with a military background.
Yeah, she's kind
Oh
of
yeah, well I
crazy.
can go boom boom pow.
She is.
Yes, you
Listen,
can.
listen.
Oh yeah, well I can go
Listen,
boom boom
ma'am,
pow. Can
ma'am.
she do that?
Well,
I'm messing with you. That's out of character. I didn't say.
You got to make sure that when it's in character, it's in
I need to
character.
just develop a voice.
It helps.
Yeah, it really does.
The mission
Right.
to bring your
really
tribes
helps.
together
It really helps to
in a military
Irish.
fashion.
The
Okay.
British Irish mix.
Okay.
Because if you don't develop a voice
No,
for
they're
your character,
character
then it doesn't sound
I'm
like a
not
character, then you
militant,
get mixed up
but
with
I'll
the
try.
character, and you don't.
As long as we
If
do
you
the
were
good
wanting
fights,
a
I'm
leader,
good.
use the leadership chain. That's where she comes from. If you wanted the leader, you asked for the leader, you already have one.
Great. Anyway,
Yeah,
Does
Baldwin.
anybody else
Now.
agree with that?
have I got all the information yet?
Again, she's reading the book, but it's her decision of what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna tell you guys.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, they're
You can roll insight.
these guys are necromancers. So
These guys?
these people, these vampires, these things, these monsters.
Much better.
Okay.
Now we're
These
focusing.
ugly.
Right.
No, because if you said beast, I'd be offended. It'd be like, what do you think my dog's a monster too?
Yes.
Yeah,
They
Get it.
so
it doesn't belong in a monastery.
they have all kinds of lore for any necromancer type people to learn about. And they take the skin and bones and things of humans that they kill and they put them on.
Lovely. So they'll be pretty obvious to spot, except, oh wait, that says nothing about how to kill them the fastest.
At least they're the weakest of all vampires.
I mean,
Your own clan.
Talk about killing them. I agree with Bone Bone Pal.
Okay. What am I known for
Good thing she
fighting?
said.
What is my clan known for fighting?
Your clan is very famous for pretty much hunting down wild beasts, very specifically in Dark Eden, where beasts have mutated from arcane magics. So while you're not maybe specialized in killing vampires, you're specialized in killing really hard things to kill.
Like, basically, you got a bear, but it's like the size of the Eiffel Tower, and I look at that and go, child's play.
Yeah.
Yes, I've come from the Dark Eden. I was sent by the Watchers. They're vampires, but there are also worse things than vampires have created.
Yeah. Yeah. So
back to
Now
the
with-
leadership thing.
Now with this information, where do you want me? Where do you want me? Here's the map. Where do you want me?
Here's the map.
Start being a leader.
This is what
All
I
right.
came from.
That's what you get for not being able to read the map.
we'll.
Wait a minute, I can't read the map.
I instantly
Yeah.
start
Right.
teaching her how to read calligraphy.
Well, Baldwin Hull, you have, I guess, been deemed to be the leader.
Huh?
The person that can read the map should.
Yeah, but I have to go. I come from.
Wait, he
military.
can read a
All right.
map. If he can't read a
He
map,
can
you're
be my
obviously
second
not a
hand
Okay.
Nathan. If he can read a map, then he can
So,
help me.
real quick, who lift your hand up if you're wanting to be the leader? Emma, who's wanting to be the leader? Lift up your hand. All right, you're the leader.
Done. So you're a
Now,
leader.
can he teach me how to read a map?
Yeah, because apparently you're
I mean, within a day and a half, can you really teach someone, a whole thing?
No, a
Or-
map.
Right.
They're harsh.
Can we act like I know how to read a map already?
Well, we'll say that you didn't know how to read this particular map because it was
We'll say more than that.
right. You guys can say more.
Let's say it was just in my language, in the Druidic language, for some reason, and I'm just like, yeah, this says this, this says this, and this says this, but all
Right.
of them are like plain
It's
the
not-
same text.
It's not a formalized Iron Guard map, and that's all you saw at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, makes sense.
Right.
I need
But
your help reading this
but
map.
once they pointed things out over time, I will say that you were able to understand this map.
The general
Alright.
layout.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm assuming from this map, we came from this way.
You're coming in through L. Yeah.
Okay. And that's
And-
a forest.
yeah.
That's a cliff, actually. That's a forest. You're right. I don't know how to read a map in real life.
I don't
So
either.
we're just supposed to be here to kill all these people?
Hmm?
We're supposed to be going here to kill all these people?
You're supposed to be going in there because the Melkahim do occasional night feedings because this is their territory that
So
they.
we're liberating these people by killing all the vampires here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those people are our friends.
Yes.
Potentially, if we
They're
I forgot to bring this up, but why can't we, like, relocate?
Take them out. Relocate.
Like, killing the vampires
Okay.
is, like, farming.
That's
That's their
like
home.
the
They can't take them out of
food
it.
stuff. I mean,
Well, yeah, but at the same time, if we
Yeah, we'll
chase
watch
us
the
every
barbarian
farm,
do
we don't have
that.
any food.
He's actually doing a better job than I
Yeah,
would,
but if we relocate them to
Okay.
another farm, that's in their territory. We move them to our territory. Therefore, they start getting starved out because they're not getting that farming. They have to do it themselves, or just like
All right. Hey everyone in Yellville, there's some really bad monsters here, so we're just going to take you up out of your houses and lands and put you over there. And I think you all will agree that's the best thing to do. There's no one who's going to deny that or try and stay no matter what.
Intimidation.
Monsters can move.
Wait, can we hide them for the night?
No, because I mean,
I
why
mean-
would you want to send them back underground? They don't want
No. Hide them for the night, as in like bring them into the woods, set them in one area, and then we go into town and kill everybody.
You mean put them in an open
Why?
spot
That's a
where
stupid
there's
reason.
This is why you're not.
We obviously
You just
surrounded
want
with,
to know it was okay for you to be
Right.
playing that game you own.
I'm telling you.
You're not that smart. This is
You can
why I know
assume
it's
that.
okay for you to
It's a
be
big building.
Are you
Why
there?
don't you get that?
If you're looking at the map,
Even I get that, and I only have
I'll give you that. That A is obviously based on where the origin of it is the town hall. Beyond that, you're gonna have to actually be there to determine what these
Well,
other
yeah,
buildings
but I'm
are.
assuming just up here, looking at the map, that's kind of a pretty obvious.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
The monk is
maybe.
saying that a recreation
Hear
of
me
your
out.
plan is monsters dinner.
Okay, hear me out over here. Maybe if you take everybody in the town and move them to the town hall, and if somebody guards the town hall, or the rest of us kill the vampires.
I would probably be best in on the way
Or
the
we
base.
just get there and figure out what the fuck's going on.
On the way from the base to the actual town, you said that was about like a day's ride.
It's a day and a half. You'll be having if you continue there and don't stop for anything other than rest, you're going to get there a little bit before. I'd say right about evening. So you're going to have a few hours before dusk.
Okay, so like if the whole way there, after we make this plan, can I like recruit wolves?
not letting go of the wolf. No, he's got that sign. He put a lot of effort into it.
Right.
No hiring.
Yes. He even found a way to put his own lights on that sign, trying to get some wolves.
So you have rations for yourself because while you were planning, he was making sure that you all had enough rations for about 4 days, which would be there and back. Do you have any additional like food or whatever on your inventory?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then I'm going to say roll animal kin, and it's going to be high difficulty because you are traveling rather than doing this.
I have a better question.
You mean another question?
Yeah.
That's 16, so
Vampires
it'd be
control
19.
wolves?
Can't vampires what?
Control wolves?
Yeah, don't you think it's very suspicious that one of us, I'm not saying who,
Is
Hey man, I don't know anything about vampires. I've been killing beasts this size towers.
If you
and not to be suspicious or jump on the bandwagon or anything, can I bring my rabid rat collection and my giant flock of bats with me?
right.
Go on holiday. I just
So I'll give you 2,
Is this a holiday?
but no
now?
more than that because you don't have the time and you don't have the additional treats to keep them interested.
the treats.
2 wolves.
Why do you have a squeaker too?
2. You got that one, and then you got one more along the path, so you have 2.
So I just needed a few because if I change into my thing, it won't be able to
Well, you got 2.
get away.
You got 2, so figure it out.
So I basically just break a bottle and go scatter.
It's like a high school party. Go, scatter!
Right.
The whole plan.
Is that you're just gonna run?
Like it was twice my size looks at me and like has arms and stuff. I'm just gonna look at him and go. They didn't tell me about you.
Scatter!
Then just
Now, I
change
say
and
we
go.
get there before we start figuring out where you want to go.
Yeah, because I have a unique set of skills.
You gotta call a fucking wolf.
To grab wolves.
Hold on,
My
here's a
unique set
skill.
of skills is to.
You want to hear it? You want to hear a skill? Come here, pretty puppy. Come here.
Oh yeah, compared to your
Meanwhile-
unique skill of.
That's automated crossbow. Thank you.
Yeah, you have to
Oh, yeah.
change the mag.
You do realize your shotgun, I think, is like a one shell at a time thing, right?
That's the most powerful.
That's not a pump.
It's not a pump.
You
It's a
click.
one
It's
shot.
a
Lever.
fucking one shot.
Chick.
That's a pump now?
Okay, whatever. All right, so, well, we're gonna wait for her to come back, so I don't have to repeat it. Is there anything else you guys want to do for the day and a half?
Looks like white trailer trash
Okay.
park or something.
All right. So, from around the stones of a rising hillside, a clear stream is revealed by the noonish daylight. Following the sparkling source, the village of Harkin is revealed. It is no more impressive than any other village, but this one still thrives with life. People are able to walk the streets freely, and they do not cower at the sight of power. It rhymed, I know. While they know they are still mere food for vampires, these people have their spirits intact, which is kind of odd. You don't get to see, humans being normal humans anymore. It's either they're huddled into the remaining cities that there are, or they're hidden. So them just kind of walking around and being normal human village, it's a little odd.
Not for
I'm
me.
not trusting it. I'm like quarterstaff out. Like,
How large is this village? Like roughly.
I think I had a number. I'm going to say localized a population of maybe like 100, with the stretching out farmlands having more.
So like size of Yarbrough.
Yeah, we'll give it that
That
way.
we wanted to relocate earlier.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and take a look.
All right. Now, as you're entering the city, they immediately see you. And some of them start running away. Others do the slow clap cheering thing. Like, yeah, there's our woo, humans! Yeah, we're gonna take back the world! And someone's trying to shush him at the same time. One even as you're walking, spits on the ground that you're about to walk through, and then stomps away. This is a really weird divided situation you guys have got yourself into.
Wouldn't most
I
of them be
choose
really
chaos.
excited to see us?
I choose chaos.
I'm chaotic good.
Why wouldn't they?
They're vampires automatically.
Passive boy until something frightens me.
He's looking at you like, that's a pretty good guess.
Okay, so you arrive into the city. I'd say in that little clearing area between B and E.
All right.
Let's see.
What I'm thinking
The
right now is that
real quick. So that is a ledge about 30 feet high behind that B. B is a statue. And let's see. Anyone who's interested in religion can determine who it is. Natural 20? Natural 20?
Hey, I'm good at this now.
4? It's not the best artwork, so it kind of throws you.
It's -1, so
yeah, it's a
anything.
weird monk.
Right. So you two are able to discern that this is a statue of the god Torm, and Torm is a god of war, but also of honesty and justice. And it seems, even though it was not carved the best way, it's still respectable.
But yes, most of this is
It isn't the most fancy, but it still works.
Yeah.
It's like religion on a budget.
There you go.
When we get into town, I'm surveying like the entire town, looking for like the best like scouting positions, like stealth positions,
Okay.
just basically making this area
Right.
a battleground.
And while
Right.
he's doing that, I'm going along and I'm looking for the best rack. Because I have to know that this village is worth saving.
That's true. So take a look at the map more closely.
What I would like to say is that.
And I'll kind of give you an answer of what you're trying to look for.
What I would,
You're probably going to go to a tavern, which is F.
what I would like to point out is that, first of all, these villagers are really, really off. But if they were vampires, they can't be too long because they would burn in the sun.
Right.
But if they're young enough to look like humans, or like she said, she used to work for them.
Why don't you ask her?
So could they make themselves look like humans?
You can roll Arcana.
No. They haven't been able to do it perfectly, I just think, but they're allied to that person. Like they struck a deal or something like that. It is weird.
I can corner one of them and intimidate them.
Actually, you can roll Arcana, and I'll give you a good answer for that.
Where's the extra man?
I don't know. That's a good question.
There isn't one in this building.
You might ask him.
+5. It's 9.
9.
Yeah.
So you know the young ones burn up in the sun, and you know the old ones look really monstrous. Certain ones might have magic to do things like that, but you're not completely sure. You didn't really get to see everything the vampires can do. What's your question?
Is there a blacksmith?
You can look
Are there
around.
two blacksmiths?
What?
Are there two blacksmiths?
Maybe one with a good rack and just saving.
There's
One's like the discount blacksmith.
I'm not actually going to make you investigate to see what building is what. There is a blacksmith.
Large.
So, I'll state this. This is a family community, so
Oh my god.
most of them are going to be married off like at 14, 15.
What their husband doesn't know will kill him.
That's true. All right.
Nerd racks and discounts.
Yeah. These racks are off limit.
Except when
So-
you get a real drunk.
Right.
Bars is entered a ranger.
So,
It's like a bar in a
so who are you two? You two are going to the blacksmith area, right? Or was it
I'm
just a
going to
joke?
blacksmith. Well, he's looking for racks, so I guess he's just following me.
Okay. Anyone else going to the blacksmith?
Anybody else want to go to a blacksmith with me?
I'll make sure he comes out in one piece.
Okay. You go in there. I mean, this is a blacksmith who mostly makes farmer tools. You look around. It seems like you might have some like weapons, like not the greatest weapons, but if you had to start an army or something, and you just
But he
grab
has a small forge.
a small forge, yes. And he introduces himself. I'm Dagir. This is my blacksmith. What magical things you have on your belt there?
I pull one out. I obviously unload it first, taking my bullets, put it in the pouch, and hand it over and be like, this is a 6-shooter.
But yeah, I see you going that way.
The Seraphim has brought us interesting warriors indeed, and a woman with. All right.
Very unique attributes.
I can't really make anything like that. If you needed a sickle, I could make a sickle.
Can you make darts?
Well, given enough time, sure. Actually, I might have a few. I don't know the price cost of darts.
My D&D won't work because the Wi-Fi is spotty around here.
Yeah. Is that my player's handbook?
Because I have 10 gold pieces, and if I don't have enough gold,
I'm taking
I'll
back
just
more than I
buy
left, man. That's the deal.
You don't have enough gold, you rob a family.
Looking at the map,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of unclear where like hills are. Raised platforms. Like I noticed, like B and A, there's some kind of height difference there. But
Right. So there's there's 30 feet, and there's like at the top where that town, the village town head right there is the hall. It's a 30 feet drop down, which is why they've kind of smoothed out the roads on the side, and there are stairs. But after that 30-foot drop, where up above you can see that it's a bit hilly and with forest, it flattens out, and from south and southwest, it goes into rolling hills, which you can see are in turn farmlands and grazing cattle areas. So south and southwest and west are going to be fairly hilly to flat. North seems like it's going to be more mountainous, and east is where you came from.
Are there like major height differences between the buildings in like I, J, like through that area?
Most of the buildings are going to be, well, the blue building is going to be 2 stories, because that's an inn as well as a tavern. The others are going to be first story, except for the weird brown circle, because that's a silo, and the building that's the long Tetris block down there, because that's the logging company.
Which one's higher? Would it be C, the silo?
I don't have the letters on the silo is going to be, yeah, it's not going to be too high. I would say, why not? I'll say 40 feet tall.
So it's a
What's 40 feet tall?
silo.
Silo.
Yeah.
The vampire.
Now it's not just the silo. We know there's stairs that going up to the top to allow people to put the grain in. There's no like really good pulley system or whatever.
I kind of find him, and I mean, archers, I'm like, I found a really good archer's perch for you.
48.
If you would take it as great. Alright, I can take it. It's
And dart.
Can you find those big picture reports?
So darts are 5 copper a piece.
You had to find the
What is
format.
the translation from copper to gold?
I'm asking out of curiosity.
100 copper equals a gold. I think 10 silver equal a gold.
So can I just
He's
take
still gonna check out
100
the
darts from
cracks.
this guy and give him a gold piece?
Let's see how many he has.
I noticed that one chick who's one bigger than the other.
I have plans for these darts.
Let's say
Yeah, he didn't even get any.
he'll have a total of 38.
Good at all. He was
Like if you ask him to make more, he can total it up to 38.
He can only make 38 darts?
I mean, he didn't have that many to lie around, and metallurgy is not like a shake and bake thing.
Can he break
can't
break a
just shake
gold
and bake.
piece to like make silver? And...
I mean, people have change, dude.
Do they have change? I don't know. This guy's looking for racks. Like, well, what else am I supposed to like be looking here for?
They can give you change.
I will take 38.
Okay, so 38. Do the math. Okay, so
Do I have a crossbow?
38 times 5 equals. So it's 100.
Yeah, repeating crossbow.
Let's say 1 gold piece and 8 silver pieces. I'll give you a deal. And so take off a gold piece and a silver, and eight silver, and then add 38 darts.
Cool.
But he's doing nothing else besides that,
Economics of the world of Nosgoth.
right? Yes.
I'm gonna find Team Captain, and I'm gonna bring the map to her, and slap out the map on like a table nearby, and I'm gonna say,
Where are you?
this archer's gonna camp out at the silo. I vote that I protect all of the civilians in the town hall, along with.
Since you're planning, I'm going to give you this. Each square is 5 feet.
Oh, very nice. For my silo perch, I will periodically look for things to shoot.
I mean, there's a lot of people and some
No,
cows in the
things to
distance.
shoot.
Okay.
I'm not indiscriminate about my targets. I'm here with the mission.
Okay, good. Because there's always that player.
Like you said, hold on. You did say if there were good enough racks, you'd see if this village is worth protecting.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
true.
so far the racks are all taken, so I'm guessing he's just going to go for every head he sees.
Any head that pops into his crossbow.
You guys
Oh,
are all
right.
married? It's time to make some widows.
Oh. So you're in the.
So the
Yeah.
archer's in his perch. I can protect the town hall with either the monk or maybe one of the casters. I think that we should probably stage the combat in the biggest open area I can see with a sniper perch close by.
Who's gonna be bait?
Your wolves.
Basically.
You really think they're gonna go after some measly wolves?
No, I know they don't.
So, with all your master plans, we're gonna take every person from this place. Shove them in one bundle. You think
We're gonna do it in daylight. Don't you dare even come at me with those. Oh, we're just gonna move them at night. And they're all gonna die. Like,
No. I'm gonna say use them as bait to push them towards the silo.
No, because
Hey, the woman said, "Though if we lose a couple, it's okay." So I'm
out
thinking
of character. Out of character. Do
Yes.
the vampires in this have like super speed, super strength, like super senses?
Roll Arcana.
Where is that?
very
Oh,
tall.
right.
So,
Two.
can I roll Arcana?
Seven.
So, well, and then that one. So you got a 7. You know they have fangs, they bite, and they seem to be stronger than usual.
Are they doing
All right.
cocaine?
And
Probably ran into like
Yes.
one.
Yes.
yeah, doesn't mean you know everything about them though.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like I thought I'd
Right.
like never seen one, so it's like one of those things where it's like
All right.
I don't know what I'm fighting.
You can make whatever story you want, but that's the information that you have. So before I get to Wilfreda, before I get to your role, what was you saying?
Oh, what's my range on Swift?
Should be on there.
I didn't see range, just like everything else.
Hey,
Oh no, wait, there it is. Yeah.
hear me out.
All right, and you rolled
We
what?
have Boom Boom
An
Pro.
18 on Arcana.
For what was your specific question?
What are
always-
like the traits I can best
Okay. So you know that they that the weak ones burn up in sunlight. The older ones, they are a little bit weak in sunlight. All of them have claws, or the older ones have talons. They also seem to be very weak and die quickly, the young ones, in either rain or running water. The older ones, rain's fine, but running water, it kills them. They do seem to be strong. Each clan has its own little unique thing about it. If they bite you and feed from you, you die really fast.
What's your character's name?
Slagger.
Slagger. Let's put Slagger and
Who's Slagger where?
Will protecting the town hall. I'll be bait, and then we'll get them to cut through that spot.
Okay.
Where
Are the townsfolk
Do you need-
wanting to hide in the
Where do you
spot
want me
so
at
we
then?
can
There.
come
Make
after
sure
them?
I don't
We
get
haven't even talked to the townsfolk.
Alright.
Have you even talked to their elder yet?
Like that's why I have him where he is, and you where you are. So therefore, if I have to cut through something, and they start getting real close to me, you
So
guys
find
go.
the elder and see if he'll come to us.
Now
I
keep in
guess.
Are
mind,
you gathering people around for
I'm
this?
just trying to bring the elder to us more than bring us to the elder.
Are you bringing anyone with you, or are you just going on your own?
Might
It's
possibly,
possible they might be hiding in magic.
they might be using magic to hide in human form.
There you go.
But
Talk to the village elder.
Everything, including the.
Pretty drastic, but
There you go.
Hmm.
We always just burn
Okay.
the town
The
down.
smartest idea, and I'm
So,
not that
it-
smart. I'm only
Can't
13 intelligence.
Figure out what's going on.
Listen, I don't give a shit what that lady said.
Okay. So you two go where?
Fair and not hurt.
Out in the
So we can
estimate,
just burn the whole
where's-
fucking village.
Where
down.
should we
It
be?
really
Where's the
doesn't
village
probably
elder?
just us
Are you asking people?
We need
Why
to
does it
find
fucking
out.
matter?
Okay. Well, they say Elder Faramund would be up in the hall. So while you're planning, these two here are going to see the elder, who is the contact, and then once they do their thing, I'll get back to the group. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know we had to meet anybody. I thought we were just gonna come up in here and be like, get in the thing.
All
and we're
right.
just
All
gonna
right.
listen.
Yeah, they might.
I thought we were just
But after I do that, then I'll get back to your guys' thing. But is it a quick question?
Yes, I was gonna say, is there any water that is like above the ground instead of Like silos normally hold wheat, and I know.
Right. Yeah. No. This
Isn't like a water tower.
You don't know what I've been.
this is a farming community, and this is the village part of it. So the water's not. There's not going to be really any running water through it. The any water that they need, they get from the river, and that river eventually flows down and travels through the irrigation systems.
And
all
still
different
half the
passive.
fucking
Okay.
population.
So.
Passive.
All right. So when you enter the town hall, it is empty, other than Elder Faramond Widukind, who is sitting silently at the head of the table. He looks like he's
Listen.
aged pretty badly, but he still looks like he has a warrior spirit in him. He still has a strong, dangerous presence, like an old man who has at least one good fight in him.
But
And he motions for you two to come over.
shut the fuck up.
what you said.
Take off my helmet,
Hear me
which I
out.
haven't really done other
If
than
worse
war
comes
camp.
to
Oh,
worse,
cool.
we burn the village down.
So now you know what he looks
If we
like.
can't save the humans, it's too bad.
And,
I take off my helmet.
So you're telling me,
and Widukind stands up on his staff to meet you face to face.
as it was disguised, invites everybody in there.
Were you sent by the
Say
Seraphim?
we destroy the entrance.
No, because if the vampire gets in
He's
there,
a little blind. You can see a little milkiness in his eyes.
Well, they're weak to water, so if they want to come in here, they have to cross the river and running water.
Listen,
It's a little late to say that.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, actually, that's
Hey, Justin.
Oh, no, he said, were you sent by the Seraphim?
what are their weaknesses?
I took out my helmet, so obviously I am.
He's a little blind in the eye.
Justin.
I'm doing their thing, and then I get to you.
Yes, I'll give him my rank, whatever.
Okay.
He's got.
I've been trying to
And
find both people
I'll
that have
rattle
humans.
off her rank and her tribe so that he knows who he has in front of him.
I suppose you want to know why we asked for the Seraphim.
Nothing to you.
We don't know if they're innocent. They could be hidden
Okay,
in disguise.
yes.
But what if they are innocent?
The Melchiah have protected us for generations, and all they ask is for crops and blood sacrifices.
What happens to the village?
We have not wanted to live this way, but it is the way that we have lived, and we live better than most.
either we do it or we die trying.
But they've been taking more than they should.
And this is why
More
I'm
every year.
against towering monsters.
And this past season, they took some of our children. We cannot allow this anymore. Some argue against me, but they do not have children. They have not lost anything. And so we asked the Seraphim to free us.
It's the most
And it is you whom they have sent.
if they can smell, you don't like out of the
We are not we are not fighters, we are farmers.
Listen,
We will not be able to fight with
I
you.
won't set the village on fire, okay?
Is there a building that everybody can go into? And
Maybe tomorrow.
this one. I'm sorry.
I fear if we leave our towns, they'll be able to sense it.
Playing better work.
They're
one building here in town.
Doesn't work.
Playing better work.
maybe the loggers.
He literally was able to
Well,
read the map.
that would be large enough to house most of us for the night.
Monsters.
Oh
If
no,
you stir
I
something
was the
up, we
one that
don't
was
want
like, I'll
you to
be
be
buried if I
attacked.
have to. And she's like, you're right, you will
But we
be
can't
buried."
leave, otherwise they'll know.
But they haven't been doing raiding parties. You've been giving them what they want up to this point.
But they've been taking more than what we've been
Mate,
giving.
if I have to, I guess you're mate.
What?
Do they come daily?
I mean, the
Weekly?
month, I don't care.
They come monthly,
Monthly?
if not sooner, and tonight is the night when we know they will come.
I'm a passive monk, so I would meet.
And are they usually on the outskirts or they hit certain...
They come, they go by,
You still look
oh, sorry, what was his name? They come by carriage, rest by Torm, and then they take the sacrifices there. But then they've been leading into the houses and eating more.
But they start there.
They start there.
Sure. Well, if we get everybody to the logger's house as best we can, at least the women and the children, a couple of them hold up, but the majority of people there, we will try to take care of this all in one fell swoop.
Ryan find
I will
Rebel?
start the movement, and by Torm's favor, may you kill them all. And he gets up, and he takes a while to move, but eventually he'll go outside the halls and start talking to the other villagers. Actually, make a perception roll.
I take 10. What do we got?
13.
After hearing what he said, you now distinctively see that there are no warriors. There are farmers here. Like usually there's like at least one guy dressed up like a badass who can take care of things.
They've been farmed out by the vampires. Okay.
All right. So while they were figuring that out, going back to this.
How do we know?
Oh, don't go back to this. We were like us three were just arguing about how she wanted.
I think Will had a question.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, are there any other access
Doesn't
points
hurt
to
to
the
burn down the
village
village.
besides the bridge?
That's what
Um,
we just figured out. Like
Yeah, we don't
legitimately
regret that.
just figured out. I was just about to.
We figured out a plan already.
This is the road.
We're using him as
It's
So
bait.
there isn't any other
It's the
things
only
from them
way.
to
Come
come
in
by
and
from the
wang.
sides?
No, these are more.
We camp out here,
So,
here and wait for daylight. Or for
actually,
the day to be done.
It's
for
going
night.
to take you a few hours,
They collect the sacrifice.
but you can either investigate it on your own or ask someone and see if you can get a good answer.
Because these people
I
are
will
really
ask the boss
giving
since
them
I'm
stuff.
currently
Our whole
still
plan was to
All right.
right here and
Wait, I got some torches.
They're literally going to drive up the wagon.
Hey,
If there's
listen,
any other
guys,
access points.
Guys, seriously, listen to this. Our plan is off, so this is not going to work.
They literally come in once a month. Come here. Tell me if I'm wrong. They park right here next to the statue in their wagons and wait for darkness. They get out of their wagons, they collect their tithes, and then lately they've been taking more than they should.
Wait a second.
But they're all going to be right here of their own doing.
And here's my
They're all
idea.
going to be in wagons in one spot, waiting.
They come in during the daytime,
Fire.
That's what I've been
and then they
saying.
wait for
Yeah, I've got
darkness
torches.
before
Yeah,
they get out.
except
They don't
fire
wait for
to
darkness. The
wagons
darkness is
not
there
fire
because they
to
can't.
the entire-
Listen,
move
you
up
gotta do
during
what you gotta do
darkness.
sometimes.
No vampire casually just travels during the daytime.
Okay, that's why I said, tell me if I heard it wrong.
Yeah, so they arrive right, just like a few hours past dusk, right
I
in there.
had an idea to
So-
burn down the bridge.
Okay, so they
There's
don't
a
know
lot
how
of
to just
no
wait there.
access to it.
But can
No
I
reach
set
the
up
water.
a hole,
At least
like a
running
little mound,
Running.
and a string, and put a grenade in it? I like it.
Tripwire?
No, not a
It's-
tripwire. It's literally just me sitting at the side of the tavern, and the moment they kind of go over, it's me going.
Okay,
Make sure you don't blow
so
up their statue.
Oh, I have sticky grenades, actually.
Make sure you don't blow up their statue.
so
I'll try not to.
I would say before you
I have
before you
grenades.
think of
I
that,
also have grenades.
look at the range effect of that grenade because that'll determine what area you go for. What?
After I get it set up in my at the silent my
Mhm.
sniper, I
Within
get a good
20
lay of the land
That's
and
what mine
good
is.
range on the bow. I come down, take a look around from the different angles to see where I would be able to be seen or spotted from the ground level, and then I try to find a villager. And I say, I come up to her and say, "Ma'am, what?"
Okay, so we will say. You went to the stables, which is I, and you see Wynn. Actually, see a woman with 3 of her children helping her with your horses. She just kind of took the initiative to take them in.
I say, "Ma'am, what is there?"
My name is Wynn.
When you have
we burn the
very
bridge.
beautiful children.
You have to
Thank
cross
you.
running
We
water.
kind of want them all to
Your
come in
village?
and be in one spot, and then we
Can you
attack them.
please have
What we could do is
somebody-
let
But that's also allowing
See,
civilians
we'll
the chance of
donate.
getting hurt.
They're all moving into
Yes.
this place right now.
some food?
I thought they were going to A.
No,
Because
we
I
can
can
definitely
literally
make
see
progress.
her
The
bones.
defensible. Look, we talked to the
And
chief
it's
who was in
gross.
there. It's just a
We're
hut.
talking about
This is the
which
defenseless
one? What
position.
does
The alchemist.
The townsfolk
No,
will be in
the
there.
warlock.
That's
The
already,
the
they're already
witch?
headed over there.
You want me to
Hear
feed
me
the
out.
witch?
Yes, I can literally
One of
see
us
her
waits
bones.
in
It's
the woods by the bridge,
kind of gross.
and then when they cross over, burn the entire bridge
She's
down so
very
they can't
fit.
get out.
Roll persuasion.
How's that sound?
That's the range of my grenade.
Okay.
But how will we get out?
From here to
Right. I mean, how long did it take to
That's
build
good.
that
They
bridge?
get like dead after the center of that too.
I will.
Never mind.
So it's
We're
like
not
it's
building
10
the
years.
bridge.
I will give you some bread in a bag, and you can
we're
take
not
it to
weak
her.
water like there.
Okay.
No, no, no.
And then I
no
go
like,
back up to
my
my,
whole
my
thought process
son.
was destroy the bridge.
Okay.
So then, if they wanted to come in and collect their tithes,
Ye-
then they'll have to cross running water.
But you have a bag of bread. I'm not sure when you're going to hand it
No,
off.
It has her to get the bag of bread.
Me?
Oh.
I am talking about defenses.
I know, I'm not interrupting what you're doing. I'm trying to get somebody else to do that for you.
Eventually, one of the random villagers hand you a bag of bread, and said,
Is it because I have boobs or something?
No, it's because I can see your bones. You're so too thin. I can.
You get this person says, the one with the long bow said you were starving. And she just kind of drops the bread into your hands and like, I don't want to touch you. And then runs off.
I don't blame myself. Don't you?
Come back.
Like,
She's gone.
She didn't want to touch
Don't.
me.
What's that?
Yes. Who are you? Random villager, right?
All right.
Who are you talking to? Me or a
you-
random
I-
villager?
You said to look at this
Okay.
for my range on my thing.
Yes.
And it's 20 feet
It won't
from
hit
a
any of the
grenade.
buildings.
So like where the grenade is, 20 feet out. I love it. Apparently. I love it.
So set a trap. Got it.
It'll definitely destroy it.
If they park
Building.
right here,
What's the damage on your grenade?
5d6s.
5d6.
that's
All
what
right.
mine is too.
So
So
that.
we're both.
Then on average, 5d6 would be, I think that's 17 or 18 fire damage.
If we set it up on the road at coming into town, and then we blow them up before they even get in town.
Compare your own HP to how much damage 17 to 18 would
just to
do.
say where I'll be like at the very
Suck for
beginning of the city. So like I'll be like right where the skinny.
I
man
have 28. That would.
I have like 5 health left.
So that's what I'm saying is these grenades are good at, hurting people. They're not necessarily TNT. So if you're like, I'm going to do one and I'm going to blow up an entire building, probably not. But if you
What
were
if we
all,
wait till they get to pulling in,
but
and then we have somebody throw it in?
or well, I mean that's an idea. But what I'm saying is,
Go in there.
one grenade on its own is meant to just hurt a lot, maybe, or like a lot of firepower. All of your firepower once would probably be doing that. Or you could just burn. Is it a? Yeah, it's just wooden bridge.
Yeah, but how would we get back across?
I mean,
You guys can swim.
Maybe some of us don't like swimming.
Screw this town for like a
I'm-
year
I'm
so they
like,
can
Right.
build their bridge.
I mean, this a lot of one shots. Hey, everyone, listen. A lot of one shots want to like very much direct you and how this is going to happen. That's usually like a hallway dungeon crawl. This is my randomness to you. Something's going to happen. You guys have to figure out how you're going to deal
All right.
with it.
Who votes to burn the bridge down?
No.
I literally am walking over there. Like, I'm already walking
Anyway,
over and just
where I'll be is like
Are you burning the bridge?
I'm producing fire.
So are
on
we
top
gonna
of it.
all ambush them at the bridge?
Yes.
yeah.
If
I'll
you're
That's
gonna
not burning
affect
the
the
bridge yet,
bridge in
because-
any way, you should do it while they're there.
Yeah, don't burn
Yeah,
it yet.
And we'll all
And
have
I'll
to
get
be
it
there.
ready underneath the bridge.
I'm
Underneath the bridge, I'm gonna
going to be
get
the
like
bait, because I
get a
look the
little
most
toasty,
feeble of everybody.
so where there's a little bit
because
of
I'm a monk,
members there
and I
already.
look
And then I'm
more
gonna like
weaker
stick
than everyone else.
like
That's
sticks
my
and
armor
tinder
intimidating.
in the cracks.
So I'm
So
going to be
when
the
all I
bait
have
in
to do
order
is
to
go,
lure them like
and then
close
it's
or
on
something like
fire.
that.
So,
From either one of
They're
you.
gonna cross
I will
the bridge.
say preparing that to make it where it'll burn a little faster. It's gonna be about an hour's work.
So I literally come out from under the bridge and I look at you and I'm like, all right.
Well, I mean, again, you're doing an hour's worth of work, so this isn't happening right away. So I'll say in that hour when you're done, you guys it'll be around 5, and it's gonna get dark at around 6.
I look at her and I'm like, I suggest we take positions, but the moment I light that bridge, it's gonna burn pretty quick.
So we'll have to have people on both sides. The problem is we have to kill them all.
Because I want to save a grenade
I'd probably be better up close because I'm
Did you
among
guys happen to find out how many vampires fell during this?
You forgot to ask.
You wasn't forthcoming with some of your.
Well, since they keep taking more and more, I would say the numbers will go down. So even knowing that information would really help.
It's a good question, though.
It is a good question. It's a good question. The least amount of enemies are gonna have.
Right. You do see that the villagers, the ones that were in all the buildings and nearby houses, are making their way towards the logging house.
McKinney logging house.
The what?
McKinney logging house.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question.
Some very musical house.
What is the range on my pistol?
Do you look at your last page and then see which pistol you have, and it should have a range implement there.
Decided to all be.
So we're all gonna be at the bridge, basically.
I'm under the
And we'll be in the woods by it.
You okay?
The idea is we can't get any of them to get away.
That's a lot,
So we have woods
you know,
here
at once,
on
but
4 corners that we have to protect from them running away.
So you're under the bridge. The monk can be in one of the trees. You have guns. You can just go pew pew.
I'm going to be pretty close to them. I don't have strength.
I
Yeah, I
also
know.
have more than guns. I have magic.
That's cool.
I've got me a sword and
I have invisibility. I might cast it when I'm
Do
done.
you have any weapons? What do you have?
yeah, I mean,
I've got a giant cemented axe.
it's good to plan with everyone. You don't have to reveal all your secrets.
I'm
Nope,
not.
that's why I'm still
There you
having
go.
a couple of
I got a
them.
card under my fist.
Yeah.
I'm barbarian. This is like
Can I possibly, with my like my
Hey, just wait until,
prestidigitation,
this,
could I
all this
pick objects up?
turns into...
No, that would be mage hand. You would.
I'm just
It's
sitting
like
on the side
small
of the road, just, like, sitting
sensory
on the table,
things.
and all you see is-
Can I
Like-
distract them with the noise?
Possibly.
And I'm just sitting there like...
Now,
Okay, guys. So
now look at the range of
There's
your
the bridge.
prestidigitation to see if you can do that,
there's not
though.
a range thing on it.
Not on the actual spell page,
Can I see?
but
I
on
need it.
that.
Not just take them out, sir. Beat you.
I need to use this for my plan.
All right, so we're all gonna be here.
10 feet.
That's the-
10 feet.
All right, so we're all gonna be on this bridge.
I hide in water.
I did water.
Okay, I'm gonna be on. We're all gonna be on the bridge.
So-
Actually, no one know how deep is the water.
It's pretty deep. Like, it's in the middle of the river. You're going to be about like up to your, because it's not a wide river, but it is very good for like irrigation purposes.
So whenever I am
And it's-
in water, it slows my movement.
You would be moving in difficult terrain, so you'd be moving at half movement. You would also have to give me a strength check to see if it doesn't take you away in the current. And then you would have to be...
Your weapons
All right.
black powder.
Will. So they're gonna go over the bridge. He's under the bridge.
It's gonna burn.
He's gonna burn it. We need somebody here, 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 and here.
Surrounding the bridge.
Yes, basically.
There's just
So-
4 points they can run away from, and we need to kill them.
So once we burn down the bridge, the people on the other side are with the enemies, and they might die since we have less
Did you say
numbers.
might?
Might die. And the people on the other side are like, oh, okay, hi friends, goodbye friends. Dead.
Because,
Well,
well,
that second part I believe.
Because once you get lowered in numbers, and there are more than we initially thought,
no, we're not doing
The first
the
instinct is
We're gonna
to
burn
run.
them and kill them right here on the bridge.
we'll fight or flight.
All right. If you really want to stand on top of this hut and aim through those trees to see that, then go ahead.
I think we should be coming up with a more valuable plan.
Is
And
it- I mean-
this is very, very time consuming. We need to watch our time.
Just listen.
Okay.
They come over the bridge. He burns it,
It's better
and
than worth the time.
It is now about 5. So you're getting close to the point where you need to figure this out.
okay. But I still think we should go at this time because
Yeah, hide in the forest.
By the way,
one, if we hide in the
It's now 8
forest,
o'clock. The vampires are already snuck past you.
I'm the leader of the
in the bridge and the little like handholds, like carved him out with like a knife or something. I'm just kind of like hanging on the bottom of the bridge.
Okay, so you already did 1 hour to do the make it burn
this is
faster.
Frou.
Now, I will say, putting something on fire does not mean it turns to ash immediately.
Yeah.
So, the bridge is on fire! In about 15 minutes, it might burn down!
Well, it was the kindling.
That is the kindling's going to make it go faster, but what I'm saying is it's not like, it's that bridge was made out of paper, it just...
No,
You're not going to want to stay on it for very long.
Right.
Also, while he's doing this for an entire hour, he's talking to the bridge. He's running it down, lowering self-esteem. It might be suicidal.
Right.
It's like,
I've
oh,
seen
no.
better bridges, and
Will,
I don't know.
how far is your range?
I don't know how to insult a bridge.
I
Alright.
can still
You're
stand him
sitting
still.
right here in a tree.
Right.
You
We've
can aim for them
decided
and
to
kill them.
assault them at the bridge. We're going to start making
Any
woodland
of the
blinds
trees by the
so we
road.
can hide in the
Right here,
forest
Sebastian.
next to the bridge and hopefully don't see us until it's time to, Robin Hood the thing and drop the blinds and shoot them.
They are trees.
Wrong.
Those are trees.
Just the best I can to give us a bonus on our
Okay.
stuff, whatever.
All right. So
Okay.
If I'm aiming at the bridge, that'll be.
Question.
I will give you 6 minutes in real time to figure this out, or otherwise
Are
I'm going
these
to ask
trees? Are those
individual.
green trees?
The light green is grass, the dark green is trees.
You didn't know how I read maps, it's not your fault.
That's true.
Nobody told me that. I've been sitting here this entire time thinking those are all trees.
Sorry, it's
I'm
funny.
sitting there like, hey guys, how you doing? Okay, goodbye.
Well, I can sit in that far away tree because I have a really long range.
We could have 2 people sitting in the trees back here because they're closer to the road. And then, I don't know what the rest of y'all are gonna do, but we gotta figure that out.
I'm
Just gonna be close to
sitting
him.
under my bridge.
Punch this shit out.
I am,
You
I
just
am
walk up,
maniacally
fuck.
giggling.
Okay.
Really
I've got
aggressively.
a short sword.
So,
I'm gonna stab and then
we decided
extra
it's the
attacks
bridge.
with-
So you decided to... Again, you get 5 more minutes in real life time to figure this out, or otherwise I'm just saying what each one of you are
So
doing.
You guys have advantage on attacks on them.
I say that
We're coming up with some
we hope for the best.
plans,
in this game,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that we can
I've
hear
got
about.
one hand so I can knock people prone if I want to.
I think
Unless they make,
Hmm?
unless they make
So
like a
it
dex
takes the
save
right
or something
bridge
like
on.
that, but they don't make a dex save.
Actually, if you want, you can use the whites as guidelines and start drawing on this this grid map.
That's what I was saying. You have
Oh, it's over here.
Yeah.
You want me to draw it?
you may.
Just casually get up and possibly break my ankles.
Oh yeah.
Do that.
I think my plan will either work out and it'll
So
be
each square is 5 feet,
amazing.
right?
It'll be big brain for once.
What was that?
Or it'll
If
do
each
the
square
exact
is
same
5 feet.
thing.
That's a
as
5
the
foot
original
square.
plan.
What is this square?
That's a 5 foot square.
So, you know, whatever.
On this map?
So make
Yes.
this one
I'm
look
not
like
going
that one.
to
Yeah.
So they can
not
make
that
it
at
the same
all.
size and everything.
Yep.
I literally give you the idea of burning it down.
No, burning it down was the original idea. I put my own twist on it. I would
To
just
hide
twist it,
underneath
yeah.
the bridge?
You don't know what I'm about to do. You don't know.
You don't know my life.
I think I'm gonna.
Yes, I do.
Is there a way to turn that music off
I'm
because
gonna
it is
just
cutting
about a bunch
out?
of girls on whack. We're about to get invaded by Pennywise. Pennywise has
Fucking
invaded
Chucky
your
over there or
world.
something? Did you guys find the Chucky?
Yeah, he left. He got front.
I don't think that bridge is like 1 or 5 feet wide.
Yes, it is.
Really?
Yes.
You probably got tired
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me make that a little bit better. My mistake. It's a little thicker.
Is the bridge on the picture only 5 foot wide?
All right.
Yes.
Holy crap.
It literally is only 5 foot wide. It's why I was
I'm
asking.
instantly like my
Wagon trails are the wheels are 4 feet wide throughout the ages because that was the length that they were in the Roman times.
And it's only a 10-foot
And
wide
we have
thing.
left the Whispering Meadows, so this is the River Kwai.
Trying to make this to my best ability.
That's fine.
It's not working out too
Well,
well.
that part I believe.
Okay.
So we have some tree. Oh, we gotta make the water. We gotta make that wawa.
But did we find the restroom in here?
bread.
I think it's those two doors right there.
Okay.
I'm drinking sugared water.
Goodbye, thanks for coming.
I'm making the water.
What's wrong with you?
Why are you diabetic? Why
I
are
made
you diabetic?
that joke like an hour ago and now I'm tired of it.
I'm gonna throw something at
Why
you.
are you diabetic?
Alright.
That's why I'm
When you
diabetic.
drink, when you drink sweet tea from McDonald's, thinking that's hydration.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's very much.
So,
Until about 2 seconds later after you drink it.
No, then I just drink more.
actually.
Seems pretty legit.
Seems legit.
Okay, these are trees.
I'm picking my miniature.
Sure, it's
This
very
is-
hydrating. What about 2 seconds later? I'll drink it more. Well, we were talking about that, and then we talked about Mountain Dews.
Yeah, that's why I was.
This one's got trees about 5-10 feet.
That's why I was doing like.
He's like, no, that's definitely hydrating. I'm like, yeah, but what about 2 seconds
Why do you want to be
later?
the source?
It's like, well, I drink
That's
more.
That sounds pretty accurate.
There you go.
Okay, we have our map. So
Yeah.
Yep, I'm going with this one.
first,
That's mine.
where do you? He's already claimed his spot. I need a person with a crossbow.
There isn't really a person with a crossbow.
I'm underneath the bridge. Done.
What's that one? Oh, it's like, never mind.
Yeah.
It's a mage.
My legs.
What is closer to a monk-looking-esque thing?
All right.
Doesn't matter.
So
Sure.
who's dead
That's
on
not-
the floor?
He's under the bridge.
I got short under the bridge.
All right, well,
Good
you're
enough.
standing right here.
Fuck the road.
You're under the bridge still.
It's like,
Where am I?
I'm what?
what did you
I'm
do?
wet.
Are your wolves hiding under the bridge too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
We don't have any
No,
wolves,
his
I don't
wolf
think,
should be
anymore.
in, like in the forest right here.
No,
and here.
my wolves are here. They're protecting other people. Like,
That wasn't.
Okay.
No, okay.
We need all the help we can get over here, though.
All right. So,
What monkey is there?
all right. Now I'm guessing you're.
Monkey?
I have a crossbow.
If you don't have your own mini, I did have the collection over here.
oh yeah, I took
So,
one already. Yeah, we
all right.
already like killed them.
All right, good.
So, which side is the village side?
But that
His
Which
side.
side is the
I
village
have no
side?
idea how far my crossbow reaches.
You will. It's actually on
I will
the.
be sitting like right
Let me see.
here, in like a tree line basis.
This is the repeater. So the repeater has a range of normal within 30 feet or disadvantage up to 120 feet.
So, 5, 10, 15, 20. And I'm in the trees right here.
Okay.
So. Oh, shoot.
The one thing we didn't really think about is how many vampires are going to have.
It's been asked, but we've never got solid information.
So
This
he
is
could
a
be coming
great
with like
bridge.
250 characters.
I
Or
doubt at
he
level
could be
3.
coming with 5 dudes, and we're all sitting here like,
Preparing for an army. We're preparing for an army.
I mean, we're at level 3. I doubt he's going to throw like 200 vampires at us.
He could.
Level 3.
dude,
But they all could have one
I am
HP.
already
Well, level
preparing
3
for
in
50
D&D, but this is
dudes.
level 3 Nazgoth.
Yeah. We could be dead right now. We don't even know.
You could be like Cthulhu.
Nazgoth is all about a lot of death.
Well,
Yeah.
if we die here today, I say we did a good job.
There you go. Iron Guard.
Iron Guard.
Technically, according to schedule, we have 30 minutes. So it's either where we die, and he's just
No,
brought
like
in
25
400.
minutes.
Yeah, we have like 400 men about to show up and beat our ass.
Whoa, hey!
1, 2, 3,
Yo,
4,
but to be
5,
honest with you, it's
6.
getting messy.
Okay, so I see 6 figurines there. Where are the other 2?
I'm smarter than
And I'm on your side up in the south.
Do you have a figurine, or would you like?
No,
I
I want
can
to.
recreate this picture.
Well, that one looks most like you're holding a bow. We'll say you're right here. Let's say
No,
5, 10,
The silo's right
would be,
there.
like,
Oh, the silo.
So-
So you're not even in this fighting area.
Okay.
No, I'm long range.
Well, I mean, let's count that out real quick.
Okay, so
Yeah,
starting right here, I'm gonna say, so right there, that's
He's already out of range currently. I can see on the paper, and that's
5,
way
10,
above.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 100, 500, 10, 100, 15, 100, 20, 125, 130.
Are we in auction right now?
Hold on.
Okay, so not over there. I'd be where the silo is.
God. 30. Oh, wait.
Look where the auction guy
So what's you're shooting at the long range disadvantage?
What is the? Because I never got any explanation for any of the letters. What is this blue thing?
That is a statue.
All right, so I'm at the statue. Then.
You would probably be better.
Is that the silo?
Yeah, that's the silo.
All right, so then I'll be at the statue.
It's either the statue or on top of the ledge, which is 30 feet up.
Yeah. Okay. Top of the ledge, 30 feet up, looking in.
So right here would probably be where I would say that would
I'm
be.
going to the ledge too.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna say 50 feet away.
So we'll say. So we have this, and we have.
So I'm gonna draw
the
this.
bird.
I'm gonna draw this out in the back, just as like casual.
Yeah. And
So. My really crappy building drawing. It looks like a sandwich on the map.
This is weird effective.
okay.
Up the movie hole.
All right. Are we good?
I'm ready.
Okay. And they're coming. This is town. That is where they're coming through, right? All right. So it becomes dark.
Yep, I knew it. It's like 40.
No, not all of them.
Several times, like, fish just kind of, like, flop out of the thing, splash water on me, and you just hear, well, I was just like,
I'll have to use those because I ran out.
I got sleight of hand. I didn't have to roll for that.
oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Where did my thing go? Oh, there. All right. So,
So 6.
So it gets dark. An hour passes.
No, it's more like it's too tiny for the whole field.
Okay, so everyone who's not way the hell over here, who's over here, roll perception. You're at disadvantage because you're very much almost in the water.
Yep.
I roll for perception on my night vision.
You do, but you're still
you
out of
kidding
range
me?
of the night vision
That's
goggles. Are you
bullcrap.
60 feet?
It
Oh, no,
bounced.
you're
You
looking.
saw that, right?
You're pretty much looking to
saw
see
that, right?
when they're coming. So
You saw
that's
that,
out of your
right?
range.
Oh, no.
I rolled a perception of 9.
Okay, that's
got
still pretty
a-
good.
I got
That's
it.
a
9, 7.
13.
And originally
Modified
planned
20.
2.
With disadvantage.
Oh yeah, you're way out there.
2.
14.
14.
My dice bounced. It was on 20 and it said
Okay,
no.
so you two, for this, an hour passes, and you two are rolling perception to see if they're coming yet. Nothing seems to be underway just yet. Another hour passes. Roll it again.
15.
Still with disadvantage.
15.
Yeah.
Yes.
I rolled the same number twice. You want me to roll again?
17 this time.
No, you're good.
Okay. That's a 19.
19,
17.
15.
15. Yeah, too far away. So everyone above 15,
15 or more.
15 or more, sorry.
Okay.
You can hear in the distance there's might be a little bit of wagon traffic coming your way.
Keep going, but I think I might have to prepare a spell already.
Okay. About 15 minutes will pass. So if you can cast that spell now, then that's going to give you kind of a time reference. I'll say that you can guess that it's going to be maybe 15 minutes before this thing gets there. I'll give you that.
Do we have a way to kind of alert the others? Like,
Nope, it's casting time of 1 action.
What was that?
do we have a way to alert the others that might not have known?
You guys didn't discuss it. You didn't discuss to the two long range hitters. Are you gonna go cuckoo, cuckoo whenever something's coming?
I'm expecting a lot of screams and groans at the.
Yeah.
They're just gonna do it. And a slight flickering of light.
Okay.
They'll know.
You
Bitches
gotta
be
know
here.
thieves can't.
By
So
the
I
way,
just go,
I'm going to wait. I'm gonna hold my action until they like at least one of the wagons is like touching the bridge.
Should be.
And you hear them getting closer and closer. I need you to, everyone within range, to make another final perception.
15.
I'm just 10.
22.
22. Everyone else? They're coming around the corner and they're about there. They're coming across the corner, meaning more than one way. No, are you gonna jump out of place and?
Nope, they can just figure it out for themselves. Sorry, bros.
Well, since I'm
Actually, since you're
10
standing
feet
up,
away
you back
from
up
him,
a
I
little
should
so
probably tell him that there's more than one.
All right. So, say they're all kind of sharing the same.
I've got 50 feet away from him, so I could just like kind of just like yell it without giving away precaution.
So, unless you're going to stop them before this point, just to give you guys an idea, this is the distance between the two carriages. And they're moving about 30 feet.
It
We
smells
can
like
tell him,
bullshit.
hey, slow down. There's something wrong with this building.
What?
You don't want to eat these people. They're tainted.
Yeah, they're tainted.
They
There's something
smell
wrong
like
with
rotten
them.
eggs.
These guys, oh no, you're kind of selling yourself short.
Can I roll
Somebody
perception
shit
to
themselves.
know where the first wagon is?
It's right there.
Well, yeah,
It's right there.
do I know where?
Yeah,
On the bridge.
I can tell him.
No, but you'll
hey,
know.
they're
You'll
a
know
lot
because you'll
of-
hear it creep up on you.
Are you underneath the bridge itself?
Literally.
You can hear it, but I mean, you rolled a disadvantage, so you don't know exactly when they're going to be right above you. You just know
I'm
it's
gonna
soon.
go.
Until the wagon hits
Too
the
bad
bridge.
none of us
I
have thieves
basically-
can't. Because if we had thieves can't, then we can literally go caw, caw.
You know,
caw.
thieves can't isn't like bird quotes. It's like, hey, you know the Dodgers? I heard that they went across the bridge into 7s of 9s, and then you're like, oh, you mean you pickpocketed that guy? Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah,
What
pretty
is
much.
nod language? What is nod?
Nod is the language of the vampires.
It is.
Nodding, just nodding to them.
Okay, I told you I made those like footholds and handholds. on the
I'll
bridge.
give you that.
I pull back my hand and I kind of make like a fireball-esque thing, and I hold it.
You're going to need to specify if you're using a spell.
I'm preparing flaming spear. Yeah.
Flaming spear. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm aiming it right above the bridge to where it's still touching the bridge. But if there's a wagon in the way, all well, I guess it just might summon in the middle of it.
Okay, so let me see.
Oh well.
I need to know the specifics of that spell.
Spell specifics. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Dun, dun.
This seems like hacks right now.
Actually,
No,
no.
no, you're going to be running a specific game.
Just in the generals, right? Flaming spear is what it is, right?
Yeah. It's a 3rd level spell, and I have 1 spell slot.
Does anybody have power word kill?
Not
No.
for a 2nd level spell slot. That's my power would kill.
Okay.
I just
with
got
I have
it.
that, but I'm like,
Huh.
that.
And if-
so
and
many
if-
fire
and
burning
if
spells, it's crazy.
Flaming spear doesn't
Up to
light
one
stuff
moment,
on fire,
one
Everything
minute.
I do is fire.
I'll just
burn,
produce
death.
flames on every
Burning
kind
hands,
of
flaming
area.
sphere, scorching
12
ray.
times over.
You want to do
Okay.
God slash kill.
So, okay, so it is.
Slash kill
You
all
are
entities
really
that
creating
are
a
enemies.
sphere of fire above, and if they happen to. Okay.
Yeah.
I just need it. I need to know exactly what is happening.
That's it.
So,
burning bad
I'm
guys.
like holding it
Burning
until
bad
they're
guys.
at
That's all you need to
least
know.
like 3 feet away from touching the bridge.
are you casting this now?
I'm holding on to it.
Okay, so
like
you're-
I'm prepared, but I haven't.
Okay.
cast it
It says the next time you touch those miniatures, you're going to regret.
Basically.
Okay. All right. So is everyone ready to let this happen?
I'm going
I'll
to
You're on
tell.
the bridge still, Nick. I just took your order other side so they.
I'm going to tell the guy who's almost drowning that there's several feet long.
Just every now and then, just.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come up with a fish in my mouth just for the memes.
They're right over it, Nick.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Okay. Literally letting it go.
Yeah, you hear them, so
Full
let go.
cowling.
Well, then let go.
All right.
And then, like, literally the moment I release that spell, I let go. And I just fall into the water, and I'm trying to get to the other side of the shore.
Okay. So we'll call this the surprise round. Okay. All right. So unless if everyone's okay with doing whatever they want and it not conflicting, I won't make you roll initiative for the surprise round.
Okay.
Can I hit the one that crossed my path? I'm this guy, so can I hit that one?
Okay. So you're hitting the carriage that they're in.
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you gonna hit them if they're in a carriage?
I've got a sword.
How well is that bridge burning?
I don't think it's burning.
It didn't burn it.
He starts going.
I had the stats.
You
for
set it on fire.
No,
Yeah.
surprise round.
Oh, wait a minute. That's
okay.
flat.
Turns in D&D don't go one after another. Like, people don't do things one after another.
It's all at once.
It's all at once.
Well, that's
So
the
therefore, moment
the
I
reality of it happening is all at once, but there is an initiative order, and we have to abide by that.
Right. Yeah.
I was just wondering how fast this bridge is burning currently. Like how fast
Not
is it?
yet.
Not yet at all.
He's not even cast a spell
Okay.
yet.
I have prepared it and I've held it for like a couple seconds.
And
All
as soon
right.
as the light, the flames, the flickering happens. This is the point
Question
I've been
being,
waiting for this
is
entire
that
time.
where you run
Okay.
this off?
So
Get
let
right
me get the.
And then we just need to like
By the way,
scream caw to the people who are like
Pretty much waiting on you.
I told you
Yes.
that I had a little me twist on it.
What? You just
He was like,
swim in water?
Okay.
burn the
Swim in
bridge,
water,
and I was like,
yes.
okay, big ball of fire.
Okay. Roll your damage for the flame. And by the, I'm not going to make you guys roll perception because you maybe have talked about it. You see the fireball appear upon the bridge.
Okay.
So roll your. Actually,
They need to
with
make
that
a
dexterity saving throw.
So where is the ball of fire?
and
Is it in
that's
their
gotta be
square?
it's in the it's literally
You know what?
inside a wagon.
That's true. You know what? They wouldn't be able to do anything about it, and even if they could, they're not going to. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Yay!
Dice.
The damage is one type of
It's
something.
one type of D. It doesn't tell me. It just says half as much damage.
No, there's
2d6.
that's 2d6, right?
Yeah.
All right, roll 2d6.
If I see any figures leaving the flames and heading towards the village, I start
And that's cocked, so you got to do it again.
It's not a D6.
I have I got
All
6
right.
of these for no reason.
So the flame appears, but it's a carriage running at it at full force. So it kind of does this weird like
green dice bag.
bubble hitting something, moving thing, and it does burn pieces of the carriage as it's going underneath it. You can't tell, but you guys can tell that thing didn't hurt the carriage at all. I mean, maybe a little.
Are the cloth covered?
You
or
scuffed
are they-
it. It doesn't look as pretty anymore.
Are the cloth covered? Wood tops? Open tops?
It's all wood.
It's all wood.
Yeah.
But how long do you get to keep your?
So, what is everyone else doing on their surprise round?
It's concentration up to
I
a
mean,
minute.
we can list the carriage. So I'm gonna attack
So as long as I don't
Okay.
get hit.
So, 5, 10, 15,
with my
20.
hand cannon.
With your hand cannon.
Come on, carriage.
So
Wait, you still have to aim and hit. They couldn't avoid something that was in their path, but you're shooting. So let me see. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60,
I will make it a
75, 80, 85, 90, and I'm dumb it down to 85 because I went too far.
I haven't looked at any tips
Okay.
in this game.
Then your regular roll.
So,
Ooh.
You're welcome. Your titties are.
what do I add to my attack? What do I add to my hit?
That's so kind of you.
20. This is what you're adding to
She's just walking with your range, right?
18. All right. You guys hear a thunk, bam, right on the carriage. Roll your damage.
So I should re-roll the ones I already.
That was 20 points.
Yeah, that's good. So 20 points of damage.
I like it. What happens to the cart?
Yeah, you blew a good chunk of the first half out, and now the wheel's going.
Okay.
Can I
so
finish
just
off that
see,
wheel?
Do I see like a huge explosion coming out of the water?
You heard and saw it. Like, these are munitions. This isn't going to be like, like, I'm going to do this in secrecy. You had a friggin' hand cannon, man. So, since you asked first, what are you doing?
I'm grabbing one of my hand axes. I have out two, and I'm just going to chunk one out of the wheel, making it break and then sliding out.
And they're red done.
Roll for attack.
I gotta use this with my grenades.
If I exit,
Yeah.
okay. This is how my character.
You've already done your action.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is it?
If I exit
I'm gonna put
and
my
I see that
flaming
cart
sphere
on the
on the
ground,
cart.
I'm gonna think I did that. Right now.
You thought your fire was the fire explosion? I'm the greatest sorcerer ever!
I am the best.
Can I?
Then,
So,
like,
wait,
like
he's doing his
vampires-
axe attack first.
Vampires just like come out of the carriage, and I'm like, I'm the best.
Normal hit.
I didn't do it.
So
I
you roll a
swear to God.
d20, and then you add your plus modifier that I have on there for
I
it.
didn't do it. You know, they didn't tell me you were scared.
There isn't one on here. I just have it.
So you have a hand axe.
I swear.
Hand axe. Let me look that up.
What, D6?
I think weapon. I have my little. Someone. No, I did that. That was smart of me.
1030?
So a hand axe. It is 1d6 slashing.
And then as modifier.
So it would be.
Hey, look over there.
It is light thrown. I think that's a strength, right? For an axe? Yeah. So your strength modifier, what's the plus number on your strength? Like in the bubble?
Minus 1.
So you're rolling a d20 and subtracting 1 to hit it.
So I got a 15.
Barely hits it. You're usually like, and then if actually hit, roll your damage.
Hey, I got 2 damage.
Are you fighting the carriage?
Yeah, you roll 1d6, so you got 2? Okay.
For a strength stat?
Huh?
So,
Strength stat?
So, you do hit it, and you can see that the spoke of the or the handle of the axe is like throwing it off even more. It's still there though. This thing looks bad. I used real stats. I had to look them up, but yeah, real stats. So,
If only I had a range weapon.
all right. So, raise your hand if you have not gone yet. Raise your hand if you have not gone yet. So, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, who's going next?
I put a flaming sphere on the back end of that carriage.
Okay. So, you were rolling. You still have to roll a spell attack.
It just
Oh, it just happens.
a dex, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Create what you want within 30
their
feet,
dex
and then
saving.
You can move it if you need to, but I'm just putting it on the back end of the carriage.
So that carriage is rolling a dex saving throw to avoid being hit.
I don't think the carriage gets an avoid. It's wood.
That's
But anybody in it could be like, oh god, no.
this is a weird moment when I'm having to figure out how to do this.
I'm not carrying to hurt the people in it, but I don't want them to flee out the back end because they'll have to flee through the fire.
I'm going to say if you attack the carriage, like you said, the damage is not to them; it's just to the carriage.
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
It'll literally be, like
I will,
the back end starting to crackle and.
I will allow it.
carriage and
Go
maybe
ahead and roll your damage.
5 and 2, 7 points.
Okay.
It's not
So-
meant to kill. It's meant to corral. That we're trying to keep the people in this area.
Okay. So yeah, you create a fire on the back of that, and it does cause some damage, and it loses some of its sustainability and kind of lowers down on the bottom. All right. So who else has not gone? Who wants to go next?
My action doesn't change. If I see anybody leaping out of a burning carriage and running toward the village, I start firing. But I'll modify it since there was no giant explosion like I was expecting. If somebody just peeks a head out a window going, what is, are we on fire? What? I'm just going to plug that guy.
So I will allow you to hold your action until someone escapes one of the carriages. Okay. All right. So, who's going next?
I'll hold my action to swing at them as soon as I see something in that carriage.
Okay.
Or
I'll hold my
any of the carriages.
Hold your action.
So a grenade.
Grenades.
Hold on.
Grenade.
A grenade
I
does
like where this
20
is going.
I heard grenade.
Right.
A
Right.
grenade does 20 feet of damage
Yes.
Okay.
in all
30 feet
directions.
apart.
Yeah, so you're going
It's
to
a
blow
20-foot
everybody up,
radius,
is what you're saying.
So
and everyone who's in that will have to roll a Dex saving throw. I will say
I'm
that if
right here.
right, what I will say is that anyone inside that carriage is protected by it. However, if that damage is enough to completely obliterate that carriage, so what I've been doing is there's spillover damage. But then they would be able to roll to see if they can half that. But at least you might be able to
Okay,
screw
so
that up.
Like
I
transport
want to
everybody
throw a
out.
grenade from this point right here all the way onto this carriage.
Okay.
It's
Carriage
only 20
already
feet.
gone.
That's easy.
Well, the
Yeah.
carriage is dead.
You will
We
have
figured it out.
to throw it because the carriage does have an AC. So if that's your action, go ahead.
But, okay, but 5, 10, 15, 20.
Don't worry about it. I'll
Alright,
take it in the face.
alright.
It's
So
gonna
you
hit
guys, are you guys
everybody.
gonna willingly take this damage? Or
No.
No, we're gonna dex save.
Let me
save.
make sure. Let me see the.
Yeah, we got a
wait,
dex
wait.
save. I got plus 2.
Before
You
I do
got
that,
plus 1.
I have a
That's
sticky
alright.
grenade and
Oh, never mind. It's saving.
I think there's sticky
I got
grenades.
plus 4 dex.
So it's actually within
got a plus
20
one.
feet. So yeah, it's 20 feet
Yeah,
radius.
because you fast forward.
Damn, that thing's strong.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm 30.
I have to roll 5d6s for this.
You have to roll to hit first.
Oh, I love this.
See where the grenade goes.
No, I'm fully open.
Carriage.
Okay,
Add it up.
second video. That one paused. There was only 2
What
seconds.
would I add this up to? What would I
Dex.
You have a modifier next to that I've written down next to the grenade itself.
Plus 4.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Nope, no, it's on there. 13 to hit.
13.
13 to hit does not hit.
Yeah, but then
so
what
she
does
gets
flying
So grenade scatter, where does it
And
hit?
it's
So, what's the full distance that this thing can go if you were throwing it for disadvantage? Grenade. Let me see your last page.
If she gets anywhere
Watch
near
her
up here,
just-
20 feet, it still gets to hit something.
That's right.
still like
So what was the
I heard
distance
grenades.
that
I
it
was hoping
threw?
This is gonna be a good.
Or
I was throwing right here.
20.
20 feet.
So its full distance is 60 feet. So make it go a
I guess
full.
that character's got an arm.
We'll go. I'll be fair. A full 40 that way, and then tell me.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
There we go.
40.
She
Divide
more
20,
than
20 more feet.
What?
It's 60 feet is the maximum. So go your maximum that distance.
40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
Okay, is that within 20 feet of him?
No,
5,
just
10, 15,
outside.
20.
Yeah. So you throw your grenade, it hits off the carriage, and then you kill some very innocent trees.
Don't I have a sticky grenade?
Hold on.
Look in your inventory.
Turn around and I'm like,
Someone get the conservative.
No, you might.
Conservative
That was the
route.
full range of weapons that class can have, not what your character had. That's why there's an inventory on your character sheet.
Yeah.
Grenade, yeah, but that doesn't mean sticky grenade.
You can just stick it on one
Yeah.
of my
I was
little
hoping
darts I have. And just,
Sorry, I gave you that knowing that someone might make that mistake, but there's the inventory on the first page. So
That's what. Right there!
yeah, you have the option.
Oh, there is.
and look at your inventory.
I
But,
know!
okay, so everyone else was holding action, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
are they
you.
officially in the town? Did we just like
Oh, I see.
fuck it up?
We fuck it up.
I need to
That blows. Alright.
So
This shit blows.
I did. I failed
A
miserably.
miss was going to
We
be a miss.
literally
at
fucked
10.
30.
So we failed completely.
No, we didn't fail
20,
completely.
25, 30.
He went straight directly, like in the middle of my fireball, or of my flaming spear.
They're also in carriages, and you hear a lot of noise, and
Wait, the question is, wouldn't the horses be scared of the fireball that just suddenly appeared?
you can train a horse to sit down and let you shoot a gun off of
It
it.
doesn't look like you guys lit the bridge on fire
Like,
at all.
I've talked to a trainer before. You can train a horse where he's laying, where he's laying down on his side, and you stand on the horse's belly and shoot a gun. Yeah,
That's the whole point.
it does, and you can train him to be okay with it. That's the idea of how well you can train a horse to run into its own death.
But a firing?
Okay.
Like a firing bridge.
But now we have to do initiative.
They'll
Wait,
just still
why did they go?
Blinders.
Oh yeah, that is right.
So, I mean, you have a good point. I'm trying to think of if they would just first
We would do
action.
initiative before they went, right?
Well, we're gonna roll initiative.
My favorite part.
Let's see. They were back here. They saw the fire.
And they just go, ah,
Yeah, I'm
that's
gonna
interesting.
Okay.
Same old, same old.
So they're smart enough to stop within 10 feet. And then got people who held their actions.
They were here. That's where they were.
Yeah. So they would have been right there, 10 feet in.
It's still
Here,
on.
grab that back.
Well,
Oh, it's still
yeah,
on?
flaming sphere will
It
last.
lasts for
yeah.
a minute. It keeps burning and burning and burning.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
serious about burning these things to the ground.
So the vampires, all 4 of them in this one carriage, are going to run for it.
Don't we get to roll initiative before they get to move?
This is surprise attack, and I'm allowing them to jump out so that the people who held their
During
action
surprise
can do
attack.
their thing.
Fire spheres.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Because
Good, Jimmy Johnson.
some people held their actions.
Was that on the bridge or was that on the carriage?
Okay, so the people who held their actions, 4 of them jump out, ready to go.
But not the ones closest to the village.
Not the ones closest to the village, no. Because that one had to make it across the bridge.
I'll
Because-
take a long shot.
Okay, because there's no way that those vampires are going to jump out near the running water.
Good. So I
They
have
don't like water, do they?
someone just
Not running water.
Got it.
Yeah. And the back one stopped
16.
Uh, yeah, that hits.
My grenade didn't even 16.
Man, he's second.
That's because you were hitting a damn carriage.
Oh, I was aiming for the fucking window.
9 points.
Okay, 1.
and she was aiming 20 feet in front of me.
Now you are an Arcane Ranger. Are you doing anything on top of that, or are you just doing just a shot?
That's what I wanted to do.
Just
Okay. So let me get back to
Yeah, I don't care how
this.
Oh, okay. Swift bow says during an attack, player takes an extra attack with the swift bow.
Yeah.
They have provision. So, 12.
So same target.
Yes.
Which one?
I don't like this guy.
Okay, so I'll call that number 3. So what was the second roll? I'm sorry.
The second roll was 12.
Okay, they both hit, and what's the total damage?
I don't live in them. I live in Park Ridge, which is like 15 minutes away.
18.
18. The first arrow hits it in the chest, throws it back enough, and it scowls at like at nothing because it doesn't know where it came from. And the second one goes right into the head, and it falls down on the ground dead.
All right.
You killed one?
I like it.
Yeah. All right. Who's the other person who held an action? All right. So you did and you did. You're eating. So what do you do?
Fuck you.
Fair enough.
You're eating. I'm not going to stop you from that.
I can roll it up for him.
You're next. Just get some chomps in and swallow.
Oh my god.
All right.
You had to deep throat a stupid sandwich.
Oh my god.
Hey, we were talking about rats this entire game.
So you're
It's
playing
true.
a sphere. You wanted it
Man,
on the
60
bridge or you
feet
wanted it on the carriage?
You are right there, right?
Yeah.
So that definitely is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. They are within 60 feet of you. However, I will say with some of your movement, move at least right here so that you're not obstructed by this person.
That's obstructing justice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Beautiful.
Okay, I throw my. How do you pronounce that?
Comma axe.
Okay.
Axe,
19.
Definitely hits.
7.
7. Okay, that's 4. So that's 7. And because of your unique axes, their dex score overall is at -1 until they pull that axe out, which means their AC will go down by 1 next time you do that. It's a good. Your character is really good whenever there is a big bad evil boss, because not only are you having that shield and taking the big hits, you're throwing the axes and lowering that AC so that everyone else's stuff hits better. So they're really good in a big bad evil guy fight. With a bunch of stuff, they're really good at surviving. Which, let's be honest, with our track record, it's better that you survive. Okay. Are you going to action surge, or is that it?
I'm gonna action surge and attack another one.
Okay, a different one?
I guess the same guy.
Okay.
That one.
All right. Roll a d20 again, as if you're hitting something.
3.
Okay, so what's 3 plus?
6.
So it'd be a 6. You're right next. So.
Did she hurt me?
No, because her botch did not roll high enough. So
Could have.
she throws the first axe and then does the second one. But because she was trying to, or he was trying to move around you so quickly and do it, you can feel like the hairs of your ear getting cut off as the axe almost gets sliced into your head, and it just
my
hits.
helmet?
Or your helmet, yeah. You can feel the whoosh and see the axe go in a bad way.
I just take off my helmet. Don't need this anymore.
All right. So what are you doing?
I'm hitting the people that came out of the carriage.
Keep moving over there.
Stab, stab, stab.
Stab, stab.
Yeah, that's fire.
Very peaceful.
That's the wagon that's still on fire.
Okay.
Make sure you run into
I'm going
it.
to attack him with a short sword.
Very peaceful.
Okay. And you're attacking
That one right
the first one. Okay.
Mod 20.
Okay, so it hits.
No, I killed the first one.
1d6 damage.
No, you hit the third one.
So that's 8 damage.
8 damage.
And then I'll spend a key point to flurry of blows it.
Okay.
Very peaceful.
Very,
Very peaceful.
Why do you have such a thing against monks?
Yeah, he did the same then.
So, flurry of blows is 2 attacks. Does a 12 hit?
Yes.
Got his
Or
attention.
an 11?
11 does not hit.
Okay. So, 1d4 plus 3. 7.
So you
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
yeah, you do a really good like uppercut on the body, and you can see like the rotted entrails kind of creep out a little. And although the stench of it throws you off, and you don't hit with your first punch,
I don't have grenades.
but the second punch you're able to punch right into that open gut wound, and just kind of punch out through the back, having all the rotten zombie vampire ichor all over you.
Did I just kill it?
You did kill it.
Oh, yeah, looky there, boys. The monk did work on his own.
All right. So the surprise rounds for everyone are done, right? Now we're running initiative.
D20?
It is a D20 plus your dex mod. Now,
Nice.
remember your numbers because I got to do it for each one of these little guys too.
Yeah, 2 plus 2. Yeah, same thing as me.
So 6 plus.
It's time to smash face.
You got that right.
I got it.
By the way, just so everyone's aware, it is 10:07. Does anyone have any time limits?
I live on my own.
Okay, then we're good.
I live
Staying
with
with
my
him.
dad.
I'm staying with you.
Plus
So
3.
I'm gonna need about.
19.
I'm 16.
I'm
I thought you guys were
21.
like 16.
Okay,
No, I'm
so
the youngest
I'm
out of
surprised.
9.
I'm the youngest out of that
I'm
one.
really 16, but people say I'm
I'm
like
gonna
18.
go to the bathroom and then step outside for a smoke real quick.
Okay, so yeah, I'm figuring out numbers and stuff. So once you get your initiative, if you need a little bit of a break, you're good.
Alright, I was about to ask the same question. A peaceful time.
That thing's a beast.
Yeah, I know.
Almost as bad as that big D20.
Yeah, given to me by the Game Portal. The Game Portal, the local gaming store for all your gaming needs.
I went there and I got.
Oh wait, where's the card? Ding.
Yes, thank you.
I got my adorable familiar. This thing.
Ooh.
Honey badgers
Okay.
don't give a shit.
And then I got a bat.
I like that one. Although the badger's kind of cool.
All right. So.
And a fox.
I already had this.
Let's see. And I need to write that down.
Did you eat all the snowballs?
No.
All right.
There's like 2 boxes of snowballs. Yeah, we're already almost to the first one. We're like halfway through the first one. Yeah.
I never had
That
one
was
before.
most.
Don't test me, or I will eat the entire
Okay.
menu in the back.
All right.
Give me the opportunity to go out and stuff them up.
Go to Walmart and get
Graham, what's your initiative?
after we had already
6.
stocked up on
Okay. And Slaggart.
20.
Good. Let's
Also a
see.
20. Next
Uh,
to me here, Faye,
Kim,
whatever.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Okay. Kimbra. You're in.
That was.
Your initiative?
14. Alright, so I just need 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I need Aemon's, Wilfreda's, Alfric's, and Falgar's. So, what was yours, Falgar?
16.
I also got a 16.
Alright.
Alfred got a 16.
Alfric. So now we need Aemon and Wilfreda. Okay. Alright. What was your initiative?
Emma, what was your initiative?
There are a lot of 20s here.
I
And
think someone took their rolls or something.
and what was your initiative? Aemon.
Hey, man.
Colin, what was your initiative?
19.
19.
Man, almost
Okay.
fast.
So I have 4 20s, so I'm gonna have to figure this out.
I'm not.
Jesus. Really?
Yeah.
All the bad guys are going on 20 also?
This is initiative round, so it's normal. So. All right. So.
You look hungry. I'm scared to sit this close to you.
2, 3,
I
4.
could eat another wrap.
So below 20.
I eat a lot of food.
Aemon. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Wait, I had 2 Twinkies. You don't want a Twinkie? Give me that.
Hey,
19.
hey, I licked that.
I don't
I
care.
looked that.
I have 3 brothers.
Okay. I'm gonna say Falgar.
Point
Last time.
Alfric.
And the last time.
What's your dex mod?
No.
I asked you one when I said I asked.
Falgar. What's your dex mod?
Yeah, I said you want to get up and give one to you right now.
What's your wisdom
You
modifier?
got 2, so I thought one was for me.
I am +2.
Okay, so
My initiative is 4. I'm gonna be going first. He's golf. The lowest score wins.
Can you actually golf?
wait a minute.
Somewhat.
Wilfreda, you were 4?
Yes.
Okay, I got that. I heard that wrong then. So that's better.
I was a 40, yes. I go 40 anyway. In the field. Like,
So
even before, like, the birds fly away, I get to attack them
16,
too.
16.
Dawn of time.
That's how quickly I attack.
So 16, 16. We have 14.
You actually thought they were just gone?
Yes. I thought Twinkies were non-existent anymore.
They did go
Yeah,
bankrupt.
They made this big deal about they're going bankrupt and shutting down. And everybody's like, not Twinkies.
Exactly.
I remember that, but they never got rid of them.
That's supposed to last forever.
Let me tell you something.
Like, they even made,
Yeah,
like,
I
a reference
we
to
all
them
wanna
in
listen to the
Fallout
person who wanted to
4
burn
because
the
they were
bullets.
so extinct.
No, like, seriously though, like, my dad was in the military. My great-grandfather would send him, like, boxes of socks and Twinkies, like, this tall, in the mail. Have you guys ever seen Zombieland?
Yes.
Yeah, with the Tallahassee and the Twinkies.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I eat snowballs now. Just him like crushing all them snowballs just broken.
He's like, I don't want a snow truck full of snowballs.
I would have cried if I would
It's a
have.
lot of initiative to figure out.
This
Right?
snowball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably kill that.
So 1, 2, 3, 4,
Probably,
5,
but he's
6,
going
7,
down
8.
Break
2,
stuff.
3,
He's
4,
getting
5,
haunted in his
6, 7,
fucking
8,
life.
9,
Yes.
10, 11, 12, 13.
Have you just been like cuddling my darkness shirts over there?
I have nowhere else to put
He's got.
Put them in your shirt.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense. So 8, 6,
Don't feed
1,
my
2,
shirt to
3,
the wolf.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
He's still holding
Okay,
the
so
Should've
I'm
brought
still
Chase.
holding one wolf.
Should've just brought Chase. Here's your wolf.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Chase isn't the best behaved, but he's a very dumb dog.
Dude, he literally, no, I'm not even lying. Like, we were in the old house, and literally we had a wooden table in the center where we played D&D, and this dog went from underneath the table, completely.
Nice.
He falls over laughing. I'm turned around, I'm just like not even paying attention. All I hear is, and it's like,
All right. Baldwin, what's your dex mod?
Answered now.
+2.
Okay. Slaggart, what's your dex mod?
+2.
Okay.
So much for making all these characters pretty much equal.
Gone. He has a huge flat surface. It's perfect. For
Okay. Baldwin, wisdom modifier.
hey,
You can't see he's rolling on it.
Wisdom mod. Okay, so Slaggart, you have a wisdom modifier, right?
Yeah, I'm a priest. +2.
What if there was a priest that was dumb?
He was probably not.
God.
So,
He got a huge flat
Eamon,
surface. It's perfect for rolling
Kimbra,
on.
Wait, oh,
Baldwin,
that.
Graham,
Is this
Wilfreda,
why you're giving me these things?
Alfric,
I can't even roll.
Balgar. That's who I'm missing.
The perception is 2.
The way Sebastian rolls down
7, 8, 9, 10.
irks me because I'm a DM.
How is he rolling?
He just
Oh, he just. That's not how
I
you
dropped
Okay.
it to the
So I have figured the initiative order.
I almost believe
Him,
that.
me.
All right, so
No, it's not cheating because it still bounces and stuff like or you
six.
can just
Yeah, but you
twist
can easily just be like.
There was one time when he rolled really good numbers, like 3 times in a row by doing that. So I literally looked at him and was like, "You don't do this, it doesn't count."
and then I rolled the same number.
So
That was pretty fun.
well, I'm gonna.
I just have a way with
Okay,
some
so
and the other ones are like
first one is holding its action. Slaggart, your go.
Really? They held their action there?
Oh, actually, no, that's the one that's almost dead, right?
No,
What, the
that's
card?
the one with the broken.
Yeah, that one's all messed up. Okay, so it jumped out and it's gonna move at half speed, so 5, 10, 15. So now, Slaggart, it's your turn.
Okay. That dude's head isn't gone. I'm gonna look at him and be
I'm
like,
gonna jump over this thing and land right there.
I'll
Would you like me to take some kind of acrobatic test or something? To get
No, I'll give you a difficult terrain on that because you're just moving around
Okay,
a ball.
I had an extra 5, so that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna go there and then I'm gonna use my priestly ability of Radiance of the Dawn.
Okay.
Ooh, now we're
Boom!
talking.
30 feet in both directions, so between here and all of this,
Mm-hmm.
I drop a nuke. Well,
Yeah.
it's just daytime.
Yeah.
Bam! I cancel
Now, is
all.
it light or is
No,
it daytime?
It's just light.
Okay.
But
'Cause
it
it-
cancels any magical darkness,
Okay.
if there was any.
Mm-hmm.
And it does 2d6 plus 3. Is it radiance? Radiance to any hostiles with a con save for half.
Does it do anything worse to undead?
It does not say so.
Same exact
It's radiant. So
because
if
some
they
of
take
them
extra
say
damage
they're
from radiant,
Yeah.
it's not
And
considered sunlight
this guy might have
or-
just solved the whole thing.
Yeah, most are very straightforward.
Who needs
So-
to think ahead whenever you guys see
So every one of them except the
I'm playing a warlock.
V6. Okay. So con mod of what's the difficulty?
Con of 12? Or is it 12? 14. Come on.
Oh, yeah,
14.
well,
So he
like,
saves.
guns.
A big.
I have guns.
Does not save.
Are there guns in the picture?
there are
Um,
now. Thanks to
Nazgoth.
17 is the damage that everybody's taking.
Not usually. There's not usually.
Save for half.
So it's
No,
con.
no,
So
there are guns in the
no.
So the
Look it up on D&D,
Clad.
Oh,
there are
sorry.
all
actual
black.
guns.
It depends.
The
on
inky
what-
blackness runs through there. You can't really tell, and then wham!
Light.
I am light.
He is
I'm
God
gonna look it
now.
up right now.
Like,
But isn't there no sun on you? How do you radiate light?
It's
Radiate.
I am.
Oh, you are.
Light.
You
okay.
are
So
light.
it's 17.
Oh, okay. So
But I
he is
wear
light.
all black so I can sneak in where I go and get like,
17.
"Bing." Now it's
Alright.
daytime.
I'm here.
Fuck
And it
you.
upsets vampires a little bit.
So
Does it hurt them a little bit more than
17,
regular
8,
people?
6.
They're taking 17 points apiece.
It hurts
Yeah.
their feelings.
It's like
Is that,
having an aneurysm.
is that how vampires sound whenever they get their feelings hurt?
Oh, was that really necessary?
Sorry.
All right. No, it's cool. I wanted you to do this.
Did you kill him?
Anti-material rifle.
Hellish rebuke.
Yeah. So.
You guys brought me for a reason, right?
Yeah. He just killed all
So
of them.
this magical
There's one.
boom of light just fills the air, and you hear the screams of all the undead creatures like in half a second.
I'm so glad I
Yeah.
didn't mention the
You gotta
thing
shoot
of,
that one
I'm
dude's head
also
off.
going to cast dark vision, because then I would have just been
It's so bright. So yeah, it's just this whoosh,
Rip Nick's
and
eyes.
all of them are starting to just
Rip
fade
Walker's
into darkness.
Hmm.
At like they're
And 2d6 to the card.
yeah.
It burns another 6 more points
Yeah,
just for
that
fun.
didn't even do
Just for fun. Okay, it
It's
burns.
burning.
It falls apart.
Alright, there's
Alright.
one dude left.
Actually, no, it almost falls apart. Yeah, there's one dude left. That's damn. You guys are good.
Well, he's
All right,
blinded.
Baldwin.
He's
Okay, I gotta see how far my.
No, but in that 60 foot, I mean, it's like.
Hmm.
he's blinded for sure.
There's a reason why the vampires are now having to meet their match on this kind of crap.
20, 25, 30.
You have moving distance, right?
Just shoot it. You got a
Yeah.
beating crossball.
Thank you. Thank you.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So that would hit.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let me casually move all the other dice. What the hell is that?
What's up with you and twos?
Do I have an extra
Don't worry,
action?
next round I'll cast Bless
Unless
on
it
you,
says
so
so
you
on
can
your
have
sheet.
Unless you got
No.
the repeating.
I have the repeater.
Then fire.
Well,
Keep firing.
let's see what the
Run trial ammo.
fire action is. The repeater is actually not a multiple attack one. There is one that is. It's just the repeater is. I don't have to reload it, but you can because it's already in there. You could use your bonus action to attack. You just don't get your bonus. Yeah. So roll a d20 and don't add the 6.
19.
That hits.
Alright, and
It
then
barely misses.
1d6 plus 2. 3, 4, 5.
Alright, so that's the
I know! Oh shit.
Why don't you go ahead and talk that guy into getting out of the cart?
Yeah,
How-
thanks, man.
How much damage?
3, 4, 5.
She can't hit a carriage, but she can hit a gun.
I mean, click on
Smaller target. More harder one to hit.
I'm waiting for the bridge to explode with me standing on it.
I did
All right.
have grenades trying to help you out. But,
Didn't you rig the bridge to go up?
It's running away, and you feel like this is the first time ever that you've made a vampire afraid. Like it is actively fearing for life, which is something that none of you have really truly experienced unless it was like middle of combat. You didn't know what you were doing. This feels like the wolves are surrounding the sheep and as he's running away, sink right in the back of his head and falls down
Just
and
fuck.
dead.
I run over to his body, like literally end of combat. I'm like, what?
Teabagging over.
Call of
Sorry,
Duty,
guys, I lost
Call
my
of Duty
cool.
teabagging.
Right.
Call of Duty teabagging. All I can see him doing.
There's
Up
some
and down.
bust.
So I will say right now that it is 10:23, which is a little past what the end time was here.
Right.
For Friday and Saturday, I do plan on being in a D&D game. I think yours is Saturday, right?
Yes.
Okay. Friday, if for some reason there isn't a D&D 5e game, and they're like, we need someone to do it, which I think he'll be here, but if there's an off chance, there is a second part to this game in case you guys totally whip the ass of the vampires.
That would be cool.
Just so you know.
Which
Yeah.
we did.
Which
'Cause
you
this,
did.
This fucker went, Iron Son!
Boom. Yeah. Because all these were half challenge rating.
Right.
I kind of figured so because they like died like pretty quickly, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
this
the
is
monk-
not a very
I
high
was
chance.
able to kill one.
Well, before you close for the night, then there is one thing I wanted to ask all evening.
Yeah.
Kayla, out of everybody here at this table, who do you think would have said they're totally devout, willing to die? That's why they keep dying. Justin said that. Sebastian,
Yeah.
out of everybody here, who do you think would say, this is role playing. You all get to do whatever you want. I want to be a turtle. All right. So Cody, out of everybody here, who do you think would say, I'm dropping the accent? It's too much work to be British.
Oh, probably her.
Nicholas, who do you think would say, everything keeps appearing on you? Where does all this stuff come from?
I saw him write that down immediately after I said it. I was like, okay, this guy's taking notes.
Shannon, who do you think out of everybody here would have said, I can go boom boom pow? Emma, who do you think out of all your friends and neighbors would say, I just want to feel important for once?
Me.
And then who followed that up with, I agree with boom boom pow? Slaggart, who do you think would say, it's like a bard entered a ranger's body?
I said that.
I heard you said that about me because I was looking for the rap.
Except I said it first, but then you just said it
Caleb?
louder.
Yep.
Who do you think said, I'm not saying we should burn the village to the ground. That's exactly what you just said!
Well, he did that.
I'm not saying we should burn the
I
village
said I
to the
did
ground.
say that. I will
legit
burn
what
that
you just said.
fucking village down. Fuck.
Sebastian, who do you think said, of course you don't care. You never had your village burned down. You never had anything pillaged, you fucktard.
The last word just give it away. It's Nick right there.
That was us chastising our party leader.
Thanks, you
And
know.
then, who do you think said, I'll be bait if I have to? You're bait.
Oh no, that was her.
Yeah.
I'll be bait if I have to, you're gonna bait.
And then, who would you think would say, who would possibly in a million years say, if we die here today, I still say we did a good job? That was the inspirational locker room speech by our party leader.
Right, right.
Point out, I'm not very inspirational. I'll look at him.
Obviously not.
No, I'll look at him and say, you're fine. You don't have
Who,
Would you
would,
like these
who do you
back?
think would say,
Thanks.
this is a
I'm
weird
going to
moment?
steal it from you.
Oh, I was gonna steal it.
Justin said that.
Because
and I
honestly,
said-
I could
I
create
was
like an
thinking,
own
how could you
character,
tell?
like
Okay.
own campaign on.
You know what? Yeah, if you want your character sheet, I'll give it back.
Throw my name
Okay.
on it because there was a slot for names.
Yeah, I can.
Is that one yours? No, that was yours. That was yours.
Let me take a picture of your character.
You want to know what this is?
Okay.
Oh, this is my
So-
dick.
Let me take a picture.
So, real quick question, everyone. Real quick question. So,
Because that was my second favorite.
you've played D&D 5e before. How did you like the Nosgoth take on it?
I loved it.
Honestly, if it was on stores, I would buy it.
I really want to
I want to continue
All right, cool. Yeah.
campaign made off of it. Except, I want the option to actually be a vampire, and I want to be an Nosferatu. I want to be sneaky boys.
There are rules to play the vampires in this book.
I'm certain.
Yeah. If you want to look at the book, here it is. I also have the free PDF online for you to download for whenever you want to play it on your own. So you can flip through that real quick if you want. And also, if you're ever interested in the games, this is from the Legacy of Kain game series, which the big ones were Blood Omen and Soul Reaver. So if you're, it's a, yeah. Blood Omen, the first one, was on PS1. All the others were on PS2.
Yeah, I remember playing those actually.
Yeah, they were cool. This is that mythology.
Oh, really?
That's this world, right at the point where the vampires are about to take over everything.
Alright, I'm gonna give myself out in their car, so I'll see you guys later. See you guys
Alright.
tomorrow.
Good night.
See ya.
I'm like super depressed because I'm like really into vampires, and
Yeah.
the guy that was supposed to run the Vampires the Masquerade campaign
Yeah.
just dipped.
Yeah, he had a death in the family, so let's give him that.
See, I got no information on how they were just like, yeah, he just couldn't show up, and I was like,
Yeah, it was a personal thing, so you can't really fault him, you know. But yeah, if you guys are interested in it, it's online for free. Download. What?
What?
Oh, okay. So yeah, feel free to go online, play it, play the video games, play the RPG game. There's a lot of Facebook groups where they are like hardcore, diehard fans for this stuff, where they're still constantly trying to make art for it and all that other stuff.
Just make the video game happen again.
That's what we're trying to do.
The game
Back.
Yeah.
again.
I would play it.
It's a very cool
Make the
game.
game great again.
Make the game great again, except don't make it cost like $200 like every other.
You know how many people who are online who would gladly pay $200 for another game?
I wouldn't.
Like they would.
There are definitely a lot of people that do that.
Tell them to spare me $200 and I'll buy it.
Tell them to spare me $300,
Right.
I'll buy it for them.
Like they made some action figurines for the series. You can't find one on eBay lower than $90 in an open container. And that's lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna stop the video and hopefully this all saves because it was good.